you know that. But it's always great. And like you, Jimmy, you do every Sunday. It was kind of interesting to sit around and do a whole lot of nothing. I don't experience that very often. Just sitting around, hanging out,
right,
doing nothing, watching golf, watching UFL championships, and then how about a couple nights before, you're getting a chance to watch the blowout. Now that was a blowout. The Mavericks over the Celtics.
Yes,
that was
it
a blowout.
was. Yes,
we had two blowouts. One in
Yes.
basketball, one in hockey. So it's just kind of nice. I'm the kind of guy. I'll make the brunch. Make the dinner, did the brats last night. So I kind of enjoy just kind of putzing around in the kitchen and hanging out. But are you sure that's what they say about just chilling? That you're just supposed to chill like that and it's okay to do nothing?
It's hard for me to do that, Manuch. I hit the gym in the morning and then went to the pool and swam my laps, hung out for a while, and then got back in time to watch the back nine. And that obviously was the best part of the U.S. Open yesterday. I loved every minute of it.
I had the tournament on early. I think I turned on about 4 or 5 holes in. My wife's up. My mother-in-law is up. And we're getting coffee, just kind of hanging out. My wife looks at me and goes, "Is this what we're watching today?" I look at her, "Yep,
all day.
Father's Day." I got control of the remote today.
There you go, pal. Let's start first with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Look, I don't know if they've turned the corner yet or not. That's still difficult to say. But they did win 4 of the 6 games during their current homestand.
Well, now they've won 10 out of the last 15 as well. And they scored, Jimmy, you sitting down over there?
Yeah.
They've scored 44 runs in the six games at home.
Yeah.
So I think over the 15, they're averaging just over 8.5 to 9 games, which is great. And I think that, when you get a chance to go ahead and beat the tar out of the Chicago White Sox and the LA Angels and all the above, now you're going to go back to take on the Nationals. You got the day off today, and to go back east and hopefully to go ahead and continue that kind of hitting, that kind of scoring. A lot of runners on base, not too many left on base. Mm-hmm. And I think that tallies pretty much up. Christian Walker's hitting the heck out of the ball. You get Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll. He's hitting 283 in the month of June. A lot of people don't realize he's hitting 283 in the month of June and scoring a lot of runs. Now, this rib or oblique injury he had yesterday, yet to determine just when he's getting hot. Why wouldn't he get a little bit?
Why not?
Tweakage?
Well, yeah. Why would that happen? It's baseball gods.
And add to the dilemma of this Diamondbacks team with the injuries. Let's just hope it's something that maybe a couple, 2-3 days it'll subside. It's nothing serious, to keep him in that lineup. But I tell you what, they are hitting the baseball. Jordan Montgomery pitched twice last week, and he was money the other night. He was money. He was right on.
Do you take back everything you said about him 2 weeks ago?
What did I say about him? I just said he's struggling. I'd say he was the shiznats.
You busted on him pretty good.
Well, he's been struggling. I mean,
he was.
He even admitted that. He was harder on himself than we were harder on him.
Well, that's fair.
But now you got Washington, you go to Philly and Minnesota, and then you come back here against Minnesota and Oakland. So again, it'll be a good, nice day off. And hey, the road continues up until July 14th. They take the All-Star break.
There you go. The thing that I found so entertaining about what the D-backs did through the course of this 6-game homestand was that they made contact with the baseball, and they had struggled to do that. It seems like forever since the season began. But even if you're grounding out or flying out, at least you're not striking out like they had been, Manuch. And so it seems that all of a sudden, the guys at the plate are finally starting to see the pitch better.
Yeah, when you look at the scoring, you look at the the third game against the Mets. They're scoring the 10 runs there, and then they average. You're looking at 5 and 4. And then you win against San Francisco. You're scoring runs, and I think you look at some of the things, maybe the San Diego series, then moving on to the Angels. You're right, Jimmy. They're starting to square it up. Christian Walker's hitting bombs. Jock Peterson's hitting bombs. It's like everybody's starting to kind of get their land legs and come together at the right time. Now, this starting rotation is still struggling a little bit, aside from Jordan Montgomery.
I agree with
Brandon Pfaadt. But, I mean, it's been fun to watch these guys take care of business, i.e. against the Angels of the world and against the Chicago White Sox of the world. By the way, that 9-2 loss on Saturday night, that was an ugly loss.
That was ugly.
Yeah, that was ugly. But besides that, you're right, Jimmy. They're hitting the ball. They're squaring it up.
Yeah.
And I think they're getting the timely hitting that we had hoped they would got earlier in the year, but now they're starting to get it.
Our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day. And my compadre finally had a legitimate question for a change. For a free quote, repair, or installation, just head to state48roofing.com. You can always follow them on social media by searching hashtag sexy roof status. Here's the question. Did Rory McIlroy lose the 124th U.S. Open, or did Bryson DeChambeau win it? You have three options. 1, Rory lost it. 2, Bryson won it. 3, was a combination of both. Just go to Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Cast your vote. Where are you? Have you made up your mind?
You know
yet?
what? I've kind of let this thing marinate just a little bit. I look at I think at Rory looking at the last 3 out of the last 4 holes, bogeying those 3 out of the last 4. I believe Rory lost this. I really do. And I look at this, but when guys struggle, you take advantage of it, right?
Yes.
I was almost tempted to go, well, it's a combination of both. I just felt that Rory had it. It was in his grasp. Even when Bryson DeChambeau missed that bunny first, all of a sudden Rory's up by 2, and then he goes in bogeys 3 out of the last 4 holes in that U.S. Open. So I voted that way, and so far right now, it looks as though the voters have also voted that way. Rory lost the tournament.
All right, I went for combination of both, and here is why. Because as you just referenced, DeChambeau struggling as well. Manucci couldn't hit a drive in the fairway. On the backside, he was all over the yard. He was playing out of the sand constantly and still was able to maintain par or miss a putt like you just talked about and had that bogey. And it felt like at that time, yes, Rory was going to take control, and then he missed those 2 key putts. But DeChambeau hit a bad drive on 18. The ball is nestled by a root that is by a tree. He hits it into the bunker and then makes a spectacular shot and makes the putt to close out.
Yeah, right now, I still go to @Roc and Manuch and vote on Twitter. Currently, Rory lost at 50%.
Okay.
Philly lost it. Bryson won it, 22.2%. Combination of both, which you voted, Jimmy,
yes.
27.8%. So we'll keep our eye on that as the day goes on.
There was a football game yesterday, so I will open up the table to Mr. Manucci. The Birmingham Stallions just put a beat down on the Brahmas in San Antonio. It was the UFL championship game.
Boy, they did. Matter of fact, Jax, did you vote? You were for San Antonio. Who'd you have for at the beginning of the year?
San Antonio.
And then who had Birmingham?
Roc.
Okay. So Roc got that one.
I had St. Louis.
That's why I had St. Louis as well, too. So I think that you looked at that. You know what, Adrian Martinez, ex-State quarterback, I thought he looked decent. I was just kind of watching these guys. It was going back and forth. You could kind of tell those guys that might be ready for the NFL or might get NFL tryouts.
Yes.
And those guys are just good football players. That'll just be either in the XFL or USFL for next several years. Go make a few bucks. But I can tell you what, a lot of scouts with minicamp ending last week were probably at the game or watching this game to see who could be some roster fillers, who could be some guys that they could go ahead and bring into training camp, and who they'd have to let go because they only bring so many into camp.
Okay.
So, yeah, I thought it was fun. It was football, and on June 16th, Father's Day. I mean, for me,
yeah, for you,
it's nirvana. I mean, baseball, you got golf,
yep,
you got football.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, football? Explain that whole thing to her on top of that. So
you do a lot of explaining at your house.
Well, they just, my wife loves basketball. She loves that. She loves football. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when they see football in spring or summer,
right,
they don't understand what the whole concept is from that standpoint.
Top headlines presented by the Sportsbook right here at Casino Arizona. It is the CAC Sportsbook with 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service kiosks. Plus, you can just come on in and enjoy. You can watch the game and bet the game. It's located at the CAZ Sports Bar, always with good food and drink specials. It is indeed the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar, and it's all located at Casino Arizona. All right, when we come back, sounds from the weekend. It's all presented a great partnership with the fine folks at Document Solutions. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910 here at Casino Arizona.
Clear. Hey, it's Jax, co-host of Take the Points, the only local sports gambling radio show in Arizona. Tune in every Saturday from 11 to 1, live right here from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Let's cash some tickets.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, historic rivalries tip off with shareable bites, and every shot you take is a game winner. All season long, you're balling with 29-degree beer, courtside seats, and scenic views. I mean, where else can you pair wall-to-wall hoops with hard-to-find whiskey? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
Grilling out. It's as American as fireworks, as hot dogs and hamburgers, and as Kingsford Original Charcoal. Because enjoying that unmistakable aroma and sharing the authentic wood-fired flavor of Kingsford Original with great friends makes the 4th of July even more special than it already is. And that's pretty special. So here's to America, and here's to Kingsford Original Charcoal, America's grilling expert. Kingsford.com.
You met with the stable boy despite your father's orders. He hoisted you onto the saddle and you wrapped your arms around him, embracing his silent strength. He lay you down amongst the wildflowers. You experienced love like never before. While you were buying dish soap. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover heart-stopping romance titles on Audible.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Time for today's play of the day, courtesy of Document Solutions, leading the valley of business solutions for copier and IT service. Their service can't be copied. 623-252-8282. Now let's get to the
back-to-back. You didn't ask for it that way. You're hot.
Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD3, also on the iHeartRadio app. We're hanging out today, the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona until 4 o'clock. And it is indeed now time for the Sounds of the Day. It is presented by Document Solutions. Christian Walker, he has been on a tear. Well, I'll just let him explain it to you because you're going to hear the highlights right now. Thank you to MLB Network.
Here's a 9.65 on the putout. And third, here's Christian Walker. And there goes Christian Walker. Goodbye.
That is great to see. He got a fastball, and boy, did he turn that one around, a no-doubter. And the bullpen's going wild. And that felt good to Christian. That's his first hit against the White Sox.
His 16th of the year.
Hold the ball from here.
Some damage.
And damage he does. Christian Walker. Off the base of the wall. Perdomo will score. Corbin will score. They'll stop Jock. And Walker has got the 2-run double. He's 3 for 3.
Have a day, Christian. What a nice swing again by Walker. Taking the ball to the opposite gap. Driving in a pair.
So Christian Walker has really been the only real consistent Arizona Diamondback so far before we get to the All-Star break. And Manuch, I'm telling you right now, this is a guy who is right now, I think, pretty well dialed in.
Well, I will say this. He's at, it was that 16th home run, 49th RBI, and goes 3 for 5. He's currently leading all first basemen in the National League with home runs and RBI. So you think, okay, if he can keep that up for the next 4 weeks until the All-Star break for, I guess 3.5 weeks, he could be one of those contenders. I doubt he overtakes Bryce Harper because of the vote,
right?
From anything. But I mean, currently, folks, heads up. Christian Walker leads the National League first baseman with the 16 home runs and the 49 RBIs. And you know what he is? He's hot. And nice to see Jock Peterson and this team get some doubles and some home runs and some line drives in the lineup.
All right, so we continue. Now we switch over to golf, and what a U.S. Open it was. All of these highlights courtesy of the U.S. Open. Let's start first. Rory McIlroy and the missed putt heard round the world.
Excruciating decade-long wait and excruciating short misses for McIlroy coming down the stretch. The DeChambeau coming back to 500 means that a par for DeChambeau will win the second U.S. Open title.
All right, so then we get to DeChambeau. Hooks his drive into the crud. It's laying by a rooted tree area and in that little fescue grass in the sand, so he cannot throw it at the green. Instead, he pokes it out, rolls it into a big sand trap, and then makes, according to him, the best shot of his career.
Good contact. Below the hole goes DeChambeau, and he's popped up.
And that was an incredible shot to within about 4 feet. And then Bryson DeChambeau, a chance to win his second U.S. Open title and do it in the spot where Payne Stewart won his as well. Remember, they both went to SMU as college kids. DeChambeau credited Payne Stewart as the guy who thought that he would be great at SMU. And here is the final shot.
Another epic up and down at Pinehurst for a U.S. Open championship.
I'm like just glued to the
that
TV.
Gave me chills.
That did too.
When they set that up, he was what I think Painter was 15 feet.
Yes.
He was about 4 or 5, something like
Right.
that. You're right. The same location.
Yep.
He drops the shot. The same mannerisms. They watched Payne Stewart get excited in his caddy, and they watched DeChambeau and his caddy. I mean, it was surreal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Walt Disney couldn't make up a movie like that when the SMU, the same golf course,
yes,
the same line, even though it was shorter, and to have all that come together. And on Father's Day, for him to recognize, his dad, who knew Payne Stewart, who helped him get him, as you mentioned, to SMU.
Yep.
That was just the great theater of the U.S. Open. Could not have. I mean, the golf gods could have not have done that. That was just special to see that, for him to drop that and take advantage of Rory McIlroy fading away like tissue paper in a rainstorm.
I knew you were going to pull that one out. Yeah. All right. So to the WNBA. And it's what everybody's talking about. Once again, it's Chicago and Indiana, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And, well, just listen to the call here, and we'll kind of dive into it a little bit. Thank you to the WNBA.
Blue Sky players coming over. Now the official is pointing to his head here, and I think they're going to look at this.
All right. So on that particular play, I'm going to say this: it was a flagrant one because there was contact at Caitlin Clark's head. But Angel Reese is a shot blocker, Manuch. She had extended and made a swipe toward the basketball.
Okay, let's
made
just
a
back
swipe
up.
toward the basketball. It was a legitimate basketball move.
Okay,
but
Jimmy.
because there was contact to the head, that is a flagrant.
Yeah,
one.
okay, Jimmy. Whatever you say. She went high. She went high. came at the ball. Oh, I can't get the ball. I'm going to get her head, the back of the head. It was obvious, Jimmy. I don't know what you were watching.
I'm
watched it 3 or 4
watching
times.
a basketball play, Manuch.
Yeah, okay. So she went up. So her arms must flop a lot when she goes up to try to ball.
She has long arms.
That ball was way up. She could have swiped it high. She came down intentionally and knocked her down on purpose to come across. So I'm just gonna. You see what I saw? So it was a intentional. It was flagrant. Otherwise, if it was a basketball play,
it was a basketball play.
Then they would have called it a foul. Would they not?
No. If it's contact to the head, it's a flagrant in the NBA. Even if it's a basketball play and you slap some guy's head, it's a flagrant one.
I feel, in my opinion, she intentionally couldn't get the ball.
I knew you
came down and came a little love tap to the top of the head.
Yeah. Well, anyway, by the way, the Fever went on to win that game over the Chicago Sky. And here we are again talking about Caitlin Clark. Today's Sounds presented by Document Solutions. It's time for everybody right now to get in for the one wireless printer with great connectivity options. Just call Document Solutions of the Valley, 623-252-8282. Get yourself or business a new all-in-one printer. Right now, you can buy, lease, or even rent many makes and models that work off of your smartphone. Once again, just call 623-252-8282. It's Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied. When you call, say hi to our buddy Greg Haas as well. All right, let's get to our G2G players of the game, of the weekend, of the night. Anybody that you want to include here, it is our G2G bars, which are available at Costco. Just check them out in the refrigerated section or just go online, g2gbar.com.
Jimmy, I'm going to go with after watching McIlroy inexplicably miss a short putt for the second time in 3 holes. He bogeys 3 out of the last 4, technically 3 out of the last 5 when you look at it. And the 18th hole, DeChambeau, but you talked about that difficult punch shot near the root, and they hit that bunker shot, and from 55 yards away, he chips to 4 feet, sinks the par to finish 6 under, 1 shot better than Rory McIlroy to win the 124th U.S. Open. That is my G2G bar game changer of the day.
All right, I'm going with Caitlin Clark since it was so aforementioned. 23 points in the Indiana win. They beat Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. We talked about the hard foul. It was a basketball play. It was not called an intentional foul or a flagrant one when it took place. They went to the monitor, looked at it, upgraded it then to a flagrant one. Caitlin Clark and her performance leading her team to victory. Shu, what do you got?
We're going to go to Group E of the European Championships that are going on this morning, because I don't know if you guys saw 2 major upsets with Romania and Slovakia, both of those teams picking up victories. Romania beats Ukraine 3-0, and then Belgium, a top 5 team in the world, number 3 in the world, loses to Slovakia 1-0 on an inexcusable error in the first half. So Group E of the Euros, a crazy morning over there in Germany.
Jax, what do you got for
I'm going back to golf, and the Bryson-Rory matchup obviously was all-time, but the second best matchup of the day was between the low amateurs of Neil Shipley and Luke Clanton. Heading into the last 18th hole, they were tied. Luke Clanton almost eagles out from 130 yards in. He lips out a birdie putt, which would have won him the low amateur, and giving Neil Shipley again. He's the only golfer, and he's only 1 of 10 in history to win both the Masters and U.S. low amateur. He's the first one since Victor Hovland in 2019, and he's the second Buckeye alongside Jack Nicklaus to do so back in 1960. And I love the quote after they asked him. They said, you're turning pro next week. You're teeing up for your first event with the PGA Tours of America. What are you looking forward to most? And he said, cashing a check. If he would have won $153,000 if he was professional. But shout out to Neil Shipley and the Ohio State Buckeyes. He's 23 years old, and he'll be going pro next
How about
week.
that? Pay a little down on my credit card, pay for gas. How about eat once in a while? By the way, how did your guy do, Jax?
I finished T41st, tied with Jordan Spieth and Scotty Scheffler, and brought home $72,000.
Okay.
But yeah, that third round, I talked to him. He said it was one of the hardest rounds he ever played, and that was the day a lot of guys that were in the mix kind of fell out of the mix.
Right.
You saw Ludwig, you saw Finau, both triple bogey on that one hole. But all in all, great tournament.
How about this?
Hold on a second. What's your buddy's name so we can follow?
Frankie Sappin.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about this? The winner, DeChambeau, makes over $4 million. The second place, the runner-up, Rory McIlroy, even though he left in disgust moments after DeChambeau had won, is making $2.3 million. Manuch, you ever make $2.3 million?
Yeah, I woke up from that dream when the alarm clock came off. The only time I ever saw a check like that was in my dreams and dreams only. I haven't made that much money in my life congregated together. Seriously?
All presented by G2G Bars. They've been a great game changer, and they're available in Costco. Check them out in the refrigerated section. You'll see what we mean. Just go online, g2gbar.com. All right, when we come back, Suns radio analyst Tim Kempton. He's going to get the inside info for tonight's Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Celtics have a 3-1 advantage. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're hanging out today, the CAZ Sportsbook from Casino, Arizona. Fox Sports 910.
Behold, here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
MRI on D-backs outfielder Corbin Carroll showed no significant damage to his left side. After leaving yesterday's game early, he could be in the lineup for tomorrow's contest with the Nationals. MLB released its first All-Star voting ballots today. Ketel Marte trails only the Padres' Luis Arraez as the NL's leading vote-getter at second base. The Mercury beat the Storm by 9 yesterday to return to a .500 record. They'll host the New York Liberty tomorrow. 10 days left till the Desert Ridgeland auction. Reports say at least 3 parties registered to bid against Yotes owner Alex Morello. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Fogco, the Valley's original manufacturer of high-pressure fog systems, has been cooling their customers for over 35 years. Fogco provides their customers with results that exceed their expectations, with reliable misting and fogging solutions that you can count on all summer long. Head to fogco.com.
Year after year, Lerner Rowe is voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. You may wonder why. The answer is quite simple. Lerner Rowe is so popular because we give every client excellent service and a superior experience. But also the main reason is results. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients with over $1 billion collected in the last 5 years alone. Our phone lines are always open and our legal team is standing by right now, waiting for your call.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Need an electric charger installed or a TV mounted? Contact AC Electrical Family at acelectricalfamily.com or call 602-577-1392. That's acelectricalfamily.com to book your free quote now. AC Electrical Family. Power up with the best.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, historic rivalries tip off with shareable bites, and every shot you take is a game winner. All season long, you're balling with 29-degree beer, courtside seats, and scenic views. I mean, where else can you pair wall-to-wall hoops with hard-to-find whiskey? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
Big changes in life are often followed by big changes to your hair. Your hair is an expression of your identity. Pantene Infinite Lengths Pro Vitamin Formula rebuilds hair bonds as well as a leading luxury brand to keep your hair healthy.
Nothing from Tim.
Authentically express yourself. Pantene is proud to partner with iHeartRadio and P&G in supporting Can't Cancel Pride and the entire LGBTQ+ community. Links of strength. Strength of you. Learn more at can'tcancelpride.com.
Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese is off to a hot start in her rookie season, leading the league in offensive rebounds. She's also the first rookie of the 2024 class to eclipse 100 points and 100 rebounds this season, and became just the fourth rookie in league history to have a double-double in 5 or more straight games when she put up 10 points and 14 boards in a loss to the Mystics on Friday. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts. Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports, presented by e.l.f. Cosmetics and e.l.f. Skin.
When it comes to women in sports, e.l.f. Cosmetics and e.l.f. Skin is all about leveling the playing field.
Come back clean.
The same goes for the boardroom, where e.l.f. is one of only 4 publicly traded U.S. companies with a board that's 2/3 women and 1/3 diverse. Learn more at elfbeauty.com.
You're hot.
Hey, everybody, we're back in Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM, HD3, and also on the iHeart Radio app. Manuch, there is NBA basketball tonight. It's in Boston. Look, I expect the Celtics to close out and win, but I don't want it to happen. I'd love to have Dallas pull the upset so we get another game.
You know, I think I got to give Rock some credit. He called that one, say, hey, look, Dallas is gonna win this game. I don't think we saw a 38-point blowout coming this way. I think that's one of the. But you saw this Mavericks team, you know, energized up and down the court, passing the ball. Luka throwing the ball down low, not taking the shot. I mean, that's something I hope to see. I'm like you, Jimmy. I took them in 6, that being the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, me too.
So I would hope that they could, extend this, win tonight. And then move on to, I think it'd be Wednesday or Thursday would be the next game. Matter of fact, let me do a double check. I think, let's see, it'd be Monday. Then we got today. I think it would be a Thursday if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, from that particular standpoint, if they can win this, continue to move this on and maybe force, maybe
a game 7.
Game 7.
I love the NBA when it's playoff time. The games have just been unbelievably competitive, with the exception of the one that we just saw a couple of nights ago. Look, when you go back to Game 2 in Boston, the Mavericks were right there. They were down 3 with about 40 seconds left, and then they had a turnover, and then Boston went down and scored. They ended up winning that game by 5. You had a situation where at home in Dallas before the blowout game, the Mavericks were down over 20 in the fourth quarter, came back to within 3 with over 4 minutes left, and Luka Doncic fouled out with 4 minutes left in that game and only trailing by 3. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Dallas could win tonight.
Well, and I think that you saw the big two, Luka and Irving. They had Luka at 29, Kyrie 27, but the rest of them, menial numbers, but the guys are coming off the bench. So when you're down 61-35 at halftime, and then you get outscored again, that being Boston coming out, and Dallas just kind of sets the tone and says, look, nobody's going to come back. And then you outscore Boston again in that fourth quarter. That's when it was pretty much, what do you call that? Free time, going up and down the court, garbage time, whatever you want to call it.
It's a garbage time. Look, Boston didn't even get off the bus. They were still on the bus, ready to head to the airport and go back to Beantown. I expect a knockdown, drag-out fight in this game tonight.
Yeah, when you're down 3 games to 1 like that, and you're looking for whatever you can make, I think those are some of the things you're going to look for.
All right, Tim Kempton is our guest right now. He joins us. You know him as the Suns radio analyst. He's been a great partner on the show for a long time. Timmy, welcome as always. We are hoping for a knockdown, drag-out tonight between these two teams. Is that going to be the case, or could it be a Boston beatdown?
Well, I think it'll be a Boston beatdown, but Dallas is going to do exactly what they tried to do, but what they did in the last game. They were very physical from the jump. They did. They wanted to muck it up. Boston wants to, play free, dribble drive to the basket, draw defenders, kick out. But if you don't have those free drives, if you make them uncomfortable, it gets a little rough around the edges. And I think that's what Dallas is going for now. That's what worked in the last game. So now it's up to Boston to make fixes and see how it goes. So yeah, I think it's going to be an ugly game to start. At least that's the way Dallas wants to play it for sure.
What do you sense Jason Kidd as the coach the Mavericks going to have to do to, you're not going to beat a team by 38 points in Boston, but I mean, what was the magic formula for this offense and then for their defense to force a couple of shot clock violations and not allowing them to get out on the perimeter?
Yeah, again, I think to start defensively, they were very, very physical and made it uncomfortable. So defensively, they got after them a little bit, took Boston out of what they want to do. And then offensively, you saw them early. They were really concentrating on getting buckets, and it didn't have to be a 3. So they just wanted to make sure they scored as often as they could. So with that, they took the ball to the basket. Yeah. They got in the mid range. They got a lot of comfortable shots early. So as you said, you expect it to be a little different once they get to Boston and everything there. But yeah, they're going to come out. I mean, obviously, when you're down 3-1, you got nothing to lose. So just throw everything at it. And I think Jason will try, maybe some different lineups. Go quick to, you have been involved at all is Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that can get really hot really quick, and for some reason just hasn't been in the rotation for Jason Kidd. So maybe throw a guy like that in the lineup.
Tim Kempton is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. All right, Tim, here we go then. I'm going to throw this one at you. I thought Hardaway Jr. had to be in that lineup. He hadn't played. They inserted him in the game before, and he couldn't throw it in the ocean if he was in the boat. And then the last game, the blowout game, he scores 15 points and lights it up in the fourth quarter like it was going out of style. It was unbelievable. So, with your thought process, the way that you see this, and you said you might see some changes in the lineup, will we see Luka Doncic keep his head, or is he going to be the crybaby of all crybabies once again?
Yeah, well, again, that's a great question, and it comes down to the officiating crew. I haven't looked at it yet. Do you guys know who the crew is tonight?
It might be Scott Foster. I think Scott Foster's on the court.
Oh. Well, Scott was on the fourth one last game, so Scott was there.
Yeah, he was crew chief in the last game, so I don't think the NBA would put him out there twice in a row. But yeah, it depends on how it goes. If you know how easy that switch clicks for him. So if it's frustrating, if they get down, if he's not making shots, you can see him lose his cool real quick, because that's the way he is. That's his normal, kind of normal way. He has to fight himself to not be that way. And the easiest way for that is for the Boston Celtics to get out front and get a lead. So it depends on the officiating crew. It depends on how well Boston gets back to playing defense. They got really sloppy in that fourth game on their heads-up defense. So expect their defense to be a little bit better individually. And if that happens, you may see Luka get upset. Yeah.
All right. Then here's the most important question of this interview. Has your perception changed from being the whiner of LeBron James to now the biggest whiner of Luka Doncic? The perception from our guy, Tim Kempton.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to give either one of them the crown. They're both first-team All-NBA whiners, so let's just leave it at that.
Let's talk a little basketball.
Oh, come on, Manuch, I'm having fun here.
People whining all the time.
That's great.
I think the one thing I've watched when this Boston series more than anything is the adjustments and the counter adjustments. Now, in Jason Kidd's, I guess his favor with it was nice to see that, but can he sustain that with all the weapons that Boston has? More importantly, reference to the Tatum and Brown show.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before the series got underway. Yeah, there's going to be a night where Boston isn't shooting the ball well, which was, obvious in the fourth game. Part of it was due to the physicality and the way Dallas played defense, so you have to give them a little bit credit. But, yeah, I think going back to Boston now, Derek White and Al Horford, those guys get back to a comfort zone where they shoot it well on those kickouts. So I expect Boston to shoot it a little bit better, for them to play better defensively. And yeah, I think it goes Boston's way tonight, because they played a lousy game. They got to watch the film. They'll make, individual adjustments. They'll make team adjustments as to what went wrong in Dallas. And yeah, I just think they have too much firepower. That's what we talked about before the series. And the first three games went very much like that, and I think Boston gets back to that in Game 5 on their home court.
All right, so the other follow-up question then, Kyrie Irving. We know he hasn't done well in Boston Garden at all. The crowd is going to be all over him. Do you expect him to have a much better game tonight than he has had so far in this series?
Yeah, I think he plays better. But I think it comes down to Boston doing what they do better than Dallas. I just think they have more firepower than Dallas. Kyrie, I think, will play well. He's kind of figured it out, got into a groove. And anytime you have a game like he did in Game 4, you gain a little confidence. You come out, especially, a superstar like Kyrie. I don't expect him to miss open shots, but I just think Boston has too much for them as a team.
And Tim, with that vein, you talked earlier about the guys, unexpected guy. You talked about Hardaway and some of the other guys. Do you think that Jason Kidd would run more people at this Celtics team and try to wear them down defensively since he found more confidence with guys coming off the bench? I mean, you had guys, shooting it, and you look at Lively did a good job coming off the bench. You think that strategy of running more and more guys at this Boston team would help him out?
I think it's more of the offensive side that he's looking for than the defensive side. I think, you talk about Tim Hardaway Jr. He got his confidence going in the fourth quarter against the bench, against Boston's bench. So maybe you put him out there, get him 3 or 4 shots, see if that confidence is carried over, because Tim Hardaway Jr. is one of those guys, he gets rolling. He can light it up in a hurry, but he needs that confidence. So you throw him out there a little bit earlier with that first group to see if he can play off Doncic and Kyrie and get some open looks and get some threes for him early and to see if he's a guy that can help him out scoring. I don't think Dallas, other than the physical play that they did in Game 4, has many one-on-one stoppers. So I think it's more of the team effort, being physical on the defensive side. But I think they need to find some more offense. And if a guy like Tim Hardaway Jr. can get rolling, that would definitely help Dallas.
It's always great, Tim, when you come on the show with us. Thank you, pal. Enjoy the game tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Should be a good one. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. That is Tim Kempton, everybody. He's presented by Fogco. You can beat the heat with patio misting systems from Fogco. Let Fogco design the perfect misting system for your patio, pool, or leisure areas. Stay cool all summer with Fogco Patio Misters. And you get a free quote at fogco.com, or just go old school and call them. 800-607-6478. That's 800-607-6478. Fogco, serving the Valley for over 35 years. It's fogco.com. Hey, we're hanging out here at Casino Arizona, the CAZ Sportsbook, where we are located. We are here until 4. Coming up next, police blotter news and football at 50. We've got you covered until 4 o'clock. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar on the southeast corner of Cave Creek and the 101. Happy hour 7 days a week, 4 to 7, with $5.50 house wines and well drinks, $4.75 drafts, plus tons of food specials. Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G Protein Bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G Protein Bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Attention drivers, stay alert, Arizona. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, supports the move over law. If you see emergency lights, move over and slow down. Let's keep our roads safe for everyone. Sponsored by All City Towing.
Need an all-in-one wireless copier and printer or IT help for your business? Call Document Solutions of the Valley, the official copier and IT solutions company for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Document Solutions is leading the Valley in business solutions for copier and IT service. They'll support your business no matter how big or small. Take advantage of either buying, leasing, or renting many makes and models of copiers. For a free quote, call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Get out of the heat and play at Duke's.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
A huge new game room is open with foosball, pool tables, shuffleboard, darts, and Pop-A-Shot basketball.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
With 3 10-foot TV screens and dozens more big screens, you'll find every game you're looking for.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Voted Best Sports Bar by New Times.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where Duke's? Where Duke's? Miller and McDowell. That's it.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Bianna's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Let's get ready for football!
It's Football at 50, the latest top football story trending this hour, right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 10 and the iHeartRadio app.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We roll till 4 o'clock. We're hanging out Casino, Arizona, the CAZ Sportsbook. A little football at 50, my brother.
Well, it's a little football 50/police blotter.
Uh-oh, here we go.
And we talked about this, myself, Jackson, and Rock, about, okay, mini camps are over.
Yep.
How many is the over-under of how many people will probably see get busted, popped, arrested for speeding? Well, defensive lineman Isaiah Buggs was arrested for the second time in a month after being booked on domestic violence and burglary charge in Alabama on Sunday morning. Now, the 27-year-old was released on $5,000 bond. Buggs recently, as you remember, had turned himself into authorities on May 30th after he was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of second-degree animal cruelty in Tuscaloosa. Now, Chiefs are having a rough month. Fellow Kansas City players such as wide receiver and Wayne Morrison have also been arrested this offseason. So, okay, I don't know, maybe there's 2 there for the count. Jimmy, because once guys go home, what do these coaches tell these guys? Don't be stupid. Be smart. Stay in shape. Do what you got to do. Make sure your driver's license isn't suspended.
That's good.
That's because when these guys get pulled over, that's one of the things. He's caught speeding and driving with a suspended license. And, by the way, didn't have any insurance. So those are some of the things we'll kind of keep track on that. The Bengals, as you know, placed the franchise tag on T. Higgins in late February, holding the 25-year-old from hitting the open market. Well, Higgins will make $21.816 million fully guaranteed for the 2024 season.
Mm-hmm.
He has signed.
Can you put the franchise tag on me for that kind of money?
You know what?
1 year?
And I know these guys, the main thing is you're seeing is they want a new contract because they want that guaranteed money over a period of time.
I understand.
So he'll make his $21 million, almost $22 million, which is fine. He's not complaining about that.
Yeah.
He just feels, hey, look, if I'm in that category of all those other guys that are making big bucks, then give me the guarantee over a 3 or 4 year. That's what they want to see. So if they've got $100 million, $120 million guaranteed over the next 4-year deal, that's what they're shooting for. Now, just because he's signed the franchise tag doesn't mean he still can't negotiate, get an extension. So that's one of the things that you take a look at, that he's hoping that maybe before the start of the season, he will also see that as well. Well, former Arizona Cardinal Calais Campbell has signed with the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
37 years old, his 17th season. As you remember, Campbell came out of the University of Miami, was a second-round pick of the Arizona Cardinals going back to 2008. We had him on many times. Great guy.
He's a great player.
Outstanding player. 9 seasons for the Cardinals. Was able to establish himself as a top-tier pass rusher and was also NFL's all-decade team in the 2010s. Also was with the Ravens. And then last year, I believe he was with Jacksonville. And then I'm sorry, 2 years ago. And then he started all 17 games for Atlanta last year. 2023 tallied 6.5 sacks, 56 tackles, and 17 quarterback hits. Seemed like he still got a little gas left in that tank.
So you want that veteran guy always in the locker room because you always preach that, and he would be that guy. But the best part is you still seem to think he can be productive.
Yeah, I do. I think that they might spot start him, or he'll be a guy that comes in as a reserve.
Oh, okay.
And I think with Miami, those are some of the things that they want to go to the next level and win an AFC championship and to try to conquer that home court or home field advantage, not have to go to Kansas City and play minus 20 degrees, minus 20 degrees. I think those are those pieces that they want to add. And to your point, Jimmy, that knowledge, how to mentor the young guys, but still be productive. I think those are the great things that a lot of teams look at and go, you know what, we watched him. Our scouts like him. Our defensive coordinator likes him. Our defensive line coach likes him. So looks like he's got some gas in the tank as reference to pushing the pile and creating a disturbance up low. Besides that, he's always been a very good run stopper. So I look at this Dolphins team. So you look at, I think right now you look at the Dolphins and the Bills. Jets far from that. And I also think that the Patriots. So I think what the Dolphins are doing are building to win that AFC East right now.
Okay. All right. On this day, and Manuch and I both of us have thoughts on this. The white Bronco was going up and down Highway 5 in California, right in the middle of the NBA Championship Series.
Yeah, that's going back on exactly June 17th, 1994, the O.J. Simpson car chase. 95 million Americans watched the 8-hour police chase. I didn't realize it lasted so long. 8 hours.
Yeah.
He then threatened suicide and refused to leave the white Ford Bronco when it arrived at his home in Brentwood. And I got to tell you what, Jimmy, I remember those are the folks that were around. I bet you dollars to donuts. They can all remember exactly where they were at.
Oh, I was at a refreshment stand. I remember that.
We were just getting ready to take the kids out to go ice skating because both my kids were starting ice hockey. We were getting ready to go over to Christown Mall, and they had a rink over there. So we're getting ready to load the kids up. All of a sudden, this breaks. I think it was the Knicks were playing
Houston.
Yeah, Knicks were playing Houston.
Yep.
All of a sudden, we interrupt this NBA final.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You're interrupting the NBA finals? So what they did the split screen.
Yep.
They had the game going, and then they had the car chase.
Yeah.
And they broke in talking about that. So the game was going on, and this car chase overtook that game. I think we waited a good half hour to an hour. And my wife at the time, my ex-wife now, we said, we got to go because the rink closes at 8. It was going to be about 6:30, 7 our time. So we want to get some ice skating in from that standpoint. So I'll never forget it. I mean, I bet a lot of people can remember exactly where they were when they broke into this NBA final.
It was the most stunning thing that I can remember, watching an NBA finals and then having that take place. And for those of you who have never looked at the video, you owe it to yourself to go look at it, because you will see people lining the freeway and up on the overpasses yelling, "Go, OJ, go." It's like it's Looney Tune time.
I remember at that point I said, our society is jacked up.
Oh, man.
When that was going on, I went, here's this guy, and he's driving down, that was the 405 or the
30.
The 5.
The 5.
Yeah.
And it was at that particular time.
Unbelievable. Anyway, that happened on this day 30-some years ago. Wow.
20.
All right, Craig Fooey from ABC 15 is coming up in hour number 2. We're going to update you as well on all of the top stories.
10.
We're hanging out today here at Casino, Arizona, the CAZ Sportsbook. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 9.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the valley at saltriverrewards.com.
The market for an electric charger for your place. Looking to upgrade your under cabinet or closet lighting? Look no further than Arizona Electrical Family. From service calls to new home installations, home remodels, and even TV mounting, we've got you covered. Visit azelectricalfamily.com or call 602-577-1392 to learn more about our comprehensive services and to schedule your free quote today. Power up with the best. Visit azelectricalfamily.com to book your free quote now. AC Electrical Family. Quality service you can trust.
Hello, Phoenix. We have some exciting news. Local high school sports has a new home right here on Fox Sports 910 AM. The Coach B and Eternal radio show can now be heard right here on Fox Sports 910 every Sunday morning at 6:30 AM. Don't miss it.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
The innovation you've been waiting for is here. The Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and Tostada from Taco Bell. Built on the 16X Cheez-It platform with the first flavor matrix stable enough to make a Cheez-It tostada possible and cheesy enough to power a crunch wrap. Because if you want to change the world, you have to bring something big to the table. Think big and order the Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme and Tostada from Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for participation which varies.
At Charmin, we're so excited for Pride Month, we just had to sing about it.
Here, and decide to come together and shake our booty. Charmin loves men's bodies and everybody else. We'll help you stay clean when you need it the most.
Charmin is proud to partner with iHeartRadio for Can't Cancel Pride for the 5th year in a row. And while Pride is only a month long, our support rolls on forever. Enjoy the go and enjoy Pride with Charmin.
Broadcasting from the Rappy Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
10 days remain until the Desert Ridge land auction. Reports say at least 3 parties registered to bid against Coyotes owner Alex Morello. An MRI on D-backs outfielder Corbin Carroll showed no significant damage to that left side after leaving yesterday's game early. He could be in the lineup for tomorrow's contest with the Nationals. MLB released its first All-Star voting ballots today. Ketel Marte trails only the Padres' Luis Arraez as the NL's leading vote-getter at second base. The Mercury beat the Storm yesterday to return record at 7. They'll host the New York Knicks. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Monday, sunny and warm. We could see some breezier conditions as well. Daytime high right around 105. And then for tonight, mostly clear with those overnight lows right around 79. Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Brake Masters.
Open road is the one place you need to be in control at all times. There's a surprise around every corner, and Brake Masters takes that seriously. Get your vehicle in Brake Masters shape today. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Brake Masters.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Second hour as we roll till 4 this afternoon. Hanging out today, Casino, Arizona at the CAZ Sportsbook. And we are here once again until 4 o'clock. Craig Fouie coming up in hour number 2 at the bottom of the hour around 2:30. We'll do our fact or Fouie. Manuch, we've got NBA basketball tonight. We have the Diamondbacks doing extremely well all of a sudden in this current, or the past homestand, because they're traveling today to begin their East Coast road trip, starting with Washington tomorrow. But they won 4 of the last 6 games.
Yeah, and they scored 44 runs in these 6 games, which is good. It's good to see, averaging over 7. They've now won 10 of the last 15. So they're starting to hit the baseball on a consistent base, power, line drives, doubles, triples. They keeping runners on the base paths. They're not leaving as many runners on base. Runners in scoring position, their percentage is up as far as that. But I think the one thing that you look at is the constant for this team. You can see right now is Christian Walker, after going 0 for on Saturday, comes back. A big game yesterday of 3 for 5 at the 3 RBI and the home runs and the power that he's bringing right now. He and Jock Peterson. So I think you really like to see that. A little concern about Corbin Carroll. I think he's playing great baseball. Scored 2 runs on the 2 walks. Guy's hitting 283 in the month of June.
That's good.
He's starting to feel it a little bit, but I think this team is finally starting to gain traction.
I have not seen an update on his side injury yet.
Yeah, he was going to take an MRI today. I don't know if that's happened yet or not, but I hope it's just something that's minor. Maybe he misses a couple of days. Hate to see him go on the 10-day, the 10-day list, and then basically shut him down before the All-Star break. Just when they're starting to get a little continuity, you got to imagine Torey Lovullo's going, "Are you kidding me?"
Right.
I mean, this kid's finally gaining traction. He's hitting the ball. He's scoring a lot of runs. He's playing really well in the outfield. But the way, to throw a ball like that, when he caught it and he threw it kind of sidearm and his leg was going one way and his arm the other way, it's like the body torqued right as he's throwing left back to first base.
Right.
So I don't know if that's where he tweaked it or not, but I'll also say this. Jordan Montgomery, 2 wins in a week. He was money yesterday. Had the 7 strikeouts, the 2 walks, off-speed pitch, the slider. Watching that game yesterday, he was on. That was the Jordan Montgomery of the Texas Rangers that we saw. Now at 5-4. About a week ago, I think before his last start, his ERA was like 6.74.
It was a real struggle for him.
He's at 6 now, so that's coming down.
Okay.
That's making progress.
Yeah, it's not going to
down.
drop 3 points after 2 games. But that doesn't happen.
Aside from Saturday's blowout by the White Sox, that's hard to say. It's kind of an oxymoron to say the White Sox blew you out, but they did. I really believe that this bullpen has been doing a great job as far as coming in and not allowing the runs and the hits. And the other thing that was down, I looked at the other day, was the bullpen with the total team walks.
Okay.
Only 3 yesterday.
Yeah.
That's another thing you look at as far as pitchers are either, forced. The walks are down over this 6-game homestand. Now we just hope they can continue that against Washington and against Philadelphia before they come back. So, they're going to be playing until July 14th. They'll be coming back against Minnesota and Oakland. So you look at if they can kind of keep this hitting, I call montage going and moving guys around the bases.
Sure. Yeah.
Putting pressure on the opposing defense. That's one of the things that I feel that really have come into fruition. And you got guys still in base. McCarthy, another stolen base, his 10th one of the season. You get more guys, and Corbin Carroll still a few more bases that will help as well too. So they're playing good, solid baseball right now.
I just checked, and there's been no new update yet on Corbin Carroll while you were going off on how well the D-backs are now playing. They will have to carry that solid play on the East Coast against Washington and then Philly as well.
Another guy that you're thinking about is you're wondering more and more if they're going to move him is Suarez. Blaze Alexander started at third base again, was 1 for 4. So it's, I love the lineup mix-ups that he's got up, or in the matchups and mix-ups, whatever you want to call them, that Torey Lovullo, and he's getting production from all these guys that are coming in. And, you're playing the White Sox, so a lot of guys will play, and you should be productive.
Against that team? Yes.
Against that staff and that pitching staff, aside from what happened on Saturday night.
All right, so the UFL championship football game was played yesterday. We discussed it briefly in the first hour. It was Birmingham beating the San Antonio Brahmas. In fact, they shut out the Brahmas in that championship game. Manuch, I'm more interested because I know, being the football guy that you are, that you sampled it. Did you hear any of Tom
I watched
Brady?
a half.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Did you hear any of Tom Brady on the air?
Yes, I did. I did hear
Okay.
Tom Brady. I thought he did a good job. I thought he did a very good job. I thought that the broadcasting crew from FS1 did a very good job.
Okay.
I think that those guys are solid. I forget who the sideline guy was, and the former quarterback. I know that Joel Klatt was up in the booth.
Right.
But I liked what I saw. I think Adrian Martinez played well. I mean, here you are. There's a lot of guys that are trying to make it. A lot of guys that did try to make it that got cut. And they're trying once again to maybe shine a little bit as much as they can. But Birmingham just kind of took control. And then some of the gaffes by the quarterbacks of the San Antonio Brahmas was like, oh, man, that's one reason why these guys probably aren't playing.
They should be at your camp.
Well, yeah, they should.
Those QBs should.
Well, I mean, the one quarterback for San Antonio, he came in, I forget his name, and he's dropping back the pass, but he stumbles, falls back, and sacks himself. Yeah. I mean, they're driving to get a score. He doesn't play fake, and he gets caught up. He trips over his own feet, and they basically, tap him. He's down.
Right.
But, you saw guys with some ability. There's some guys with NFL ability, and there's some guys that are just trying to make it. I think a lot of these guys, I think there's one kicker. I forget what team it is, but he got signed by the NFL team on Friday.
Okay.
That he's going to be going. So if you get a lineman or a linebacker, or you get a guy that can go be a camp body, and maybe he can go play special teams and prove himself at some point, I think that's all scouts are looking at.
Okay,
right now.
let me drop this name on you because you will know it because he was in Arizona. Hakeem Butler, the wide receiver out of Iowa State, struggled big time in his NFL couple of years. He plays lights out in the UFFL. Wade Phillips, the coach of San Antonio, after San Antonio upset St. Louis Battlehawks, went over to him and the cameras caught it. And he told him, I'm going to call every coach I know and tell them that you should be in the NFL.
And, here's the thing with that. Maybe he wasn't quite ready emotionally, physically for the National Football League when he came here at the Cardinals.
That's fair.
I mean, he was a hell of a receiver at Iowa State.
It's sensational.
I mean, Brock Purdy and him were connecting all the time. And I think when I think of those Iowa State days, he might have been a little bit of a one-trick pony. He could get the deep ball, he could get the high point the ball. He's like 6'4", 6'5".
Yep.
And he hasn't ready as far as route running was concerned. He dropped several passes. And you know what? Sometimes maybe you take a couple steps back in order to take 10 steps forward. And sometimes guys just need to play at that level. So I would love to see a guy get a second chance like a Hakeem Butler. I mean, if there's a need for him out there with his speed and his size and his height, and he's more consistent in his route running and his catching, he can get to a camp. That's all you can ask for your second chance.
Yes.
Just please get me to a camp.
Yeah.
Let me show you how I've grown emotionally, physically, mentally, and be able to go ahead and do those kind of things I need to do to be a National Football League player.
The National Hockey League, we get another game. It's tomorrow night. It'll be played in Sunrise, Florida. The Panthers with a 3-1 lead, just like the NBA game, which is tonight with Boston with a 3-1 lead. But the past game over the weekend, the Oilers of Edmonton destroyed the Panthers 8-1, Manuch. It was like a shooting gallery for Edmonton.
I've always shot down Roc and his conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Right? I don't know, man. For the Dallas Mavericks Boston Celtics game, and for this game, I think Edmonton just scored again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to come out and score 6 goals in the first 2 periods and then 2 more.
Yep.
I know, hey, Florida, I know you didn't want to be there. You want to maybe go home and win it there, back in Florida. But I'm like, seriously, guys? I mean, it's almost like this is right to the script. I think we'd all like to see this go 6-7 games.
Oh, absolutely. I'd like to see both of them go 7.
I think we all would because we have something to talk about.
Yes.
It's still the dog days of summer. But I mean, 8-1, that you would get absolutely hammered like that and allow those goals. I mean, talk about a team that was sleepwalking on the ice. Did they get off the bus?
No, I don't think they got off the bus. No, I don't think so.
I mean, it was just right to script. So every once in a while, I'll give Roc a little credit that there's something about game 4s in a must-win situation that the Mavericks were desperate.
Yep.
The Oilers were desperate. And when you're desperate, a lot of different things happen. So can the Oilers be desperate tomorrow night? And can the Mavericks be desperate
tonight. There you go. Top headlines brought to you by the CAZ Sportsbook right here at Casino Arizona. You can come and watch the game and wager on the game. 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service betting kiosks. They're open from 8 in the morning until 11 at night. It is indeed the CAZ Sportsbook here at Casino Arizona. My esteemed colleague just referenced the game tonight, NBA Finals Game 5. When we come back, we're going to dive into tonight's contest. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasting live today from Fox.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Investing in a high-quality misting system from Fogco will be the coolest decision you ever make for your home patio, pool area, or commercial property. Fogco, the Valley's original manufacturer of high-pressure fog systems, is one of the pioneers in the misting industry for over 35 years. Let Fogco transform your outdoor living and entertainment areas into a cool and soothing tropical showcase. If you're looking for quality, reliability, and value, get a free quote at fogco.com. That's FOGCO.com.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail. And the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by 2 words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Vans Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Grilling out. It's as American as fireworks, as hot dogs and hamburgers, and as Kingsford Original Charcoal. Because enjoying that unmistakable aroma and sharing the authentic wood-fired flavor of Kingsford Original with great friends makes the 4th of July even more special than it already is. And that's pretty special. So here's to America, and here's to Kingsford Original Charcoal, America's grilling expert. Kingsford.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
More sports, more Jody. The Drive with Jody Ayler. Now in mornings 6 to 10 on Rock Sports 910.
I haven't talked to him yet. We're going to talk about that before we start at like 2. And so I'm not sure kind of where he's at, but he's trying. He's doing everything he can to try to put himself in position to be out there. I know that for sure.
Credit to Media Boston Sports Network. That is Joe Mazzulla, the head coach of the Boston Celtics, discussing the possibility of Kristaps Porzingis playing tonight in Game 5 in Boston, and the Celtics with a 3-1 lead. You play him tonight, Manuch?
You know, you got a 2-game lead, right? If he's not completely healthy or close to 100%, why play him?
Okay.
I mean, he could get re-injured, and what happens if the Mavericks come back and beat you? They beat you tonight. Okay, it's 3-2. You still got 2 games. You know, why try to force the issue if he's just not there yet? And the way they described it was a separation in that area toward the bone. So I would say this, look, I would just play your hand. Maybe hold him out tonight. Now, if it gets into like 3-2, all of a sudden they win it and they go, okay, look, we want to shut the door quickly.
Yeah.
And if Porzingis is 90-95% for Game 6, then you go, okay, now we play him. Now we get him back into, because we don't want to tempt fate. You want to get a team like the Dallas Mavericks get on a roll.
Oh, absolutely.
And because they've done that. They beat the Suns 4 in a row, as I recollect a couple years ago.
They did.
And they're one of those teams that can get hot, especially with the way their bench is playing right now. the adjustments they've made.
And they're a very good road team. Dallas is a very good road team.
And so those are some of the things. So I don't play him tonight.
Okay.
Unless he absolutely positively
What if he comes,
can move around with any hesitation.
What if he comes to you and says, Coach, I'm good. Coach, I'm good.
I think that the way that they train these guys before the game, and they'll put them through the different paces, lateral movement, forward movement, down low, jump shots. If the trainer sees any kind of hesitation or something at 3/4 speed versus full speed, he'll say, no, you're not ready.
Okay.
Because they know what these guys look like, Jimmy, when they're full speed.
Yeah.
They know how they can move, especially Porzingis. I mean, with 7'9", 155 pounds, give or take. The way he moves, he's an athlete.
He's a terrific
He's
athlete.
a hell of an athlete.
Yeah, he is.
So I think that I would err on the side of caution if I'm the Celtics with Porzingis.
Okay. Do you have Boston closing it out, or do you believe that the Mavericks, what we just talked about, can take some of that energy that we saw the past game in Dallas and have that carry over to tonight?
I would certainly hope so, Jimmy. I think that as long as Kyrie Irving doesn't get caught up again in all the emotion of being back in Boston.
That's fair.
And pretty much, without saying it, assuring the fan that they're going to go back to Boston. He'll be a different player. And it's interesting because we had Grant Afseth, who's the beat writer for the Mavericks. He had mentioned that he goes a couple times with all the jabs and barbs being thrown at Kyrie Irving, he somewhat pays attention. He's not totally dialed into the huddle. I think Jason Kidd has said, look, Kyrie, ignore the noise. Don't have rabbit ears. Just be focused on this. So I would certainly hope that they win game tonight. My heart says I hope they win, but my mind says I think the Celtics close
it out.
Yeah, I really do.
I'm with you. I would love to have Dallas win just so we had another game to watch and how much more interesting it would be. But with a 6.5 point spread, Jackson is 6.5 on the spread line right now. Where are you, Jax, when you kind of take a look at this?
I'm not betting on it at all.
Wow.
No, I think
that's not like you.
No, NBA has just been so inconsistent, and you don't know what you're going to see out of your scorers and Tatum and out of Jaylen Brown or guys like Horford. And then the other side, Kyrie Irving's 50-50. The 6.5 is a big line. I think the Celtics at home, though, they've been dominating. I would look towards the first quarter, first half, because I think if Boston gets out to a big lead early, it's going to be over for the Celtics. But I agree with Manuch. I think as a sports fan and as us doing this, we want to see the Mavs win and extend.
Yes.
But I think the Celtics got it pretty easily tonight.
The other thing, too, is interesting. We talk about this game is can that bench come alive like it did for the Mavericks in Dallas?
That's fair.
We talked about Hardaway Jr., 15 points. What was he, 5 for 7?
All threes.
All threes. Okay, maybe he's found his game or he's, knocked the rust off. They broke the WD-40 out and guys are, lubed up and hitting on all cylinders. I mean, think about that. Lively coming off the bench. But the biggest key was them driving to the rack early on, Jimmy. The passing, driving in, going down low. I mean, Luka was camping. He backed down whomever, and they were layups.
Yes.
I mean, you look at Kyrie Irving. I'm like, does anybody play defense for Boston in this game? It was kind of like, all right, we're going to take a little bit of a break. I mean, they were having their way down low. Then all of a sudden they start kicking the balls outside and hitting threes. I mean, they were in sync. So is that rhythm and tempo going to be like what we saw the other night? Is Jason Kidd going to do that in this game? Throw a lot of players at Boston, a lot of defense, and do the same exact thing and see if Boston adjusts.
He's got to try to do anything that he can think of because tonight it could be all over if the Celtics win. So over the weekend, after that Dallas win to force Game 5 tonight, on NBA TV, Charles Barkley was doing his normal commentary, and then he surprised everybody by making an announcement that next year is going to be his last year on TV. The reason I think Charles is in this is because NBC, Peacock, and others are all available to get the NBA television contract, and TNT, it looks like, is going to be shut out with next season being their final season. So here is Charles with his announcement on NBA TV.
I've been thinking, guys, I want to say this because you guys are my family. I really love TNT, all the people who work here. NBA television. You guys been great to me for 24 years. And I just want to say thank you to my entire NBA family. I love you guys. You know, there's been a lot of noise around our network the last few months. And I just want to say, I've talked to all the other networks, but I ain't going nowhere other than TNT. But I have made the decision myself, no matter what happens, next year is going to be my last year on television. And I just want to say thank you to my NBA family. You guys been great to me. My heart is full with joy and gratitude. But I'm going to pass the baton at the end of next year. I hope the NBA stays with TNT. But for me personally, I wanted you guys to hear from me because I'm not doing any more interviews. Don't y'all be calling me. Nobody calling me. I'm not talking about this again, but I want to tell my NBA and NBA TV and TNT family that I'm not going to another network, but I'm going to pass the baton to either Jamal Crawford or Vince Carter or you, Steve. But next year, I'm going to just retire after 25 years, and I just want to say thank you, and I wanted y'all to hear from me first.
So that is Charles Barkley the other night following the Dallas Mavericks win, and he made that announcement on NBA TV. Manuch, it's maybe 2 months ago that he happened to walk in while we were doing the show here, and he immediately came over to say hello and put on the headset. And I distinctly remember him saying something to the effect at that time that he was over 60 and he didn't want to work the rest of his life, and he was thinking about retirement at that time.
Yeah, he had hinted at that for a while. I guess I'm a little surprised. I mean, I think he finally just said, hey, look, I'm done. After next year, I want to move on because I think right now it's getting to the point it's becoming annoying to him.
Yes.
Where you're going to be, where you're going to go for, how much you're looking to make. I mean, all those questions. He's like, look, I've got enough money to last me 50 lifetimes.
Yes, he does.
He's very open, very honest. I'm going to miss him on the broadcasts, whether it be pregame, halftime, postgame shows. I think we will all miss him. I don't think he's done with TV. I think he's done with the NBA after next year. I think there'll be some other opportunities for him.
Oh, sure.
For him,
he can come on our show.
Exactly, absolutely, and we'll buy him all the soda pops he wants. But I mean, I think he's got too much personality. He's got too much going for him. I think from the NBA standpoint, he probably wants to venture out knowing the talent that he has and his personality. It could be best suited for, who knows, a game show or for this or for that. But I think what I also hear is that it's at his own pace, that he wants to slow down, go do a few things. But I mean, he's over 60, still a young guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're what, 92? You're
I
still
am.
going.
I'm still rocking.
And I'm going to be 67 here in September.
Yep.
I think 67 is the new 50. I mean, I feel great. Hate to tell you that, Rock. I'm around a long time. But I think that kind of caught a lot of people off guard that he made an actual formal announcement.
Yeah. So, all right. So it ties in with On This Day.
Yeah, let's go back to speaking of Charles Barkley. 1992, the Philadelphia 76ers trade Charles Barkley to the Phoenix Suns. And I wonder if the Hornets went with that deal.
Yes.
I'm trying to think who the others really went with that deal in particular. Anyways, so at that point, the Suns, KJ, we got Chambers, got Tim Kempton.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good pieces there. And Oliver Miller, you had West there, and you went, wow, is this the missing piece? I mean, is Charles like the last link to the chain that can get us Phoenix Suns fans that 92 to 93 opportunity to win it all? And I got to tell you what, they're about ready to throw a parade for Charles before coming in here. And it was just like, you thought they'd reinvented sliced bread.
Yeah.
America West Arena was just opening that year. The Arizona Rattlers were starting to open that year. And there was a lot of things coming together for that 1992-1993 season. And you went, okay, here's our great opportunity to finally go compete and win the Western Conference title, which they did, and now go beat who? Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And I got to tell you, that's probably the greatest trade moment to happen for I think, Phoenix sports history. If you think
all of the teams?
All the teams.
Okay.
I can't think of another team historic moment where somebody was traded for to come into this town and
One
you
minute.
have a chance to go ahead and actually win an NBA championship or have the chance to win an NBA championship.
Absolutely unbelievable what the excitement was when Chuck was indeed traded to the Phoenix Suns. It was just absolutely incredible. On the way Thursday, we're going to be at Twin Peaks. Where, Manuch?
We mean Twin Peaks in Tempe over there
Can't
off of the
wait.
Tempe Marketplace. Come on, stop on by. Watch the magic happen.
Coming up next, ABC Channel 15 Sports Director Craig Fooey is going to join us. We'll do a little Factor Fooey and some other topics as well with Fooey. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B hanging out today at the Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
News for the Diamondbacks as an MRI and outfielder Corbin Carroll showed no significant damage to his left side. After leaving yesterday's game early, he could be in the lineup for tomorrow's contest with the Nationals. MLB released its first All-Star voting ballots today. Ketel Marte trails only the Padres' Luis Arraez as the NL's leading vote-getter at second base. The Mercury beat the Storm yesterday to return to a .500 record at 7-7. They host the New York Liberty tomorrow. 10 days remain until the Desert Ridge land auction. Reports say at least 3 parties registered to bid against Coyotes owner Alex Morello. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for billiards, poker, and trivia. And now, the Roc and Manuch Amber by Huss Brewing. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, daily specials, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Amber drafts. Arena Sports Grill.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Need an electric charger installed or a TV mounted? Contact AC Electrical Family at aceelectricalfamily.com or call 602-577-1392. That's aceelectricalfamily.com to book your free quote now. AC Electrical Family. Power up with the best.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Look at your cup holder. It's empty. And you're feeling thirsty. Head to a nearby convenience store and fill it with a Pepsi Zero Sugar, Mountain Dew, or Starry. Grab a delicious, refreshing Pepsi for the road.
Ashley's Stars and Stripes mattress sale is going on now. For a limited time, save $500 on select Tempur-Breeze mattresses, or save $400 on select Stearns & Foster mattresses. Plus, get 5-year special financing on select in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Hurry to your local Ashley store or Ashley.com for the best 4th of July mattress deals. Going on now, only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. No minimum purchase required. See store for details.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. It's time for Fact or Fooey with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fooey. Fooey joins us each Monday to break down top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now here's ABC 15's Craig Fooey.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to News with Jimmy B. We're hanging out here at the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona. Craig Fooey is here, and he's all excited. Why is he excited? Because he gets another NBA game tonight on ABC.
Hallelujah.
There you go, Coach.
That's it. That's exactly it. How did you guys know?
we're much smarter than we are better looking. Okay,
it's because
we're so excited about it.
Well, and Jimmy and I just hoping to save a little face. We both took the Mavericks in six.
Yeah.
We're hoping they can just make some kind of a run, especially these dog days of summer as well, too, right, Coach?
Yeah, that's exactly. What's going on right now, right? It's pretty quiet.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Pretty quiet time. So
hey,
we take it. We'll take it.
Yeah. Before we get to Factor Fooey, update on Corbin Carroll for the D-backs. He has been cleared after he had an MRI this morning, and he is now on his way to Washington, D.C. to join the team. That's really good news for the Diamondbacks, obviously, and a team that now is kind of finding its way. Is that fair to ask that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think just when they're starting to get guys back from injury, and you watch that game yesterday, and here's Corbin Carroll in the seventh grabbing his abdomen and going, "You've got to be kidding me!
Yeah.
Come on, really?" You know, it's like this can't be. So we needed this kind of news today because it was like not looking very happy. It was doom and gloom last night, honestly.
All right, little Factor Fooey, and it all starts with the D-backs, who have won 10 of their last 15 games, 4 of the last 6. They've scored 44 runs on the 6-game homestand. Are they now back in World Series form? Fact or Fooey?
Fooey on that. I don't think we're in World Series form yet, with Merrill Kelly on the sidelines, Eduardo Rodriguez on the sidelines, Zach Gallen on the sidelines. Let's see. At least Corbin Carroll's flying now to Washington to meet up with the team. Here's an interesting note, though, on the D-backs. They're only a half game back in the wild card.
Yes.
They're 35-37, and they're a half game back in the wild card. So as awful as this season has started with all of the injuries, and you name the guy's been hurt, right? Pick any name and say, yep, he's been hurt. Yep, he's been hurt. He's been on the DL. They're still only a half game back in the wild card. That's awesome.
And you gotta love that with what hopefully they can hold serve up until the All-Star break and everybody get healthy and hopefully get back. All right, Coach, question number 2 at ABC 15's Greg Fooey. Christian Walker, who is leading all National League first base with 16 home runs and 49 RBI, will become the leading candidate to start for the All-Star game. Fact or Fooey?
Ooh, man. I'm going to say Fooey on that because I think Ketel Marte might be that guy. This is a 2-horse race maybe, huh? Ketel Marte and Christian Walker. Who do you like in this one, Manuch?
I know, well, Marte's been more consistent. Boy, if Walker hits about 4 or 5 more dingers up until the All-Star break, I mean, think about that. I mean, he probably won't surpass a Bryce Harper or some of the other guys, or Freeman. I know that, but I mean, he's very deserving. If anything, I would think to be an alternate if Ketel does make it.
Now the trouble is, like you said, you got Freddie Freeman, you got Vlad Guerrero, you got Bryce Harper, Andy Diaz. I mean, you've got some guys that are playing a little bit better, but he's been hitting well and he's been playing well. He's a very good first baseman, right? I mean, the guy is solid. There's no question about it. So I think it might be Ketel, though. I'm just going to say Fooey on that.
All right. Question number 3. We go to golf, and it was an unbelievable display over the weekend.
Oh, man.
Rory McIlroy's 3 bogeys over the last 5 holes in the U.S. Open will go down as one of the biggest disappointments in golf majors history. Fact or Fooey?
Go down in history. Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, he was so embarrassed. I mean, you saw what happened, right? The way he left and just kind of snuck out the back as soon as Bryson made that putt. It was kind of sad. It was actually kind of sad to see because we were cheering for Roy. Colin and I are here in the sports office kind of cheering for the guy to try and get things rolling. And then, man, bogey on 15, bogey on 16, par on 17, bogey, missed that putt on 18 that would have sent it to an overtime. And then just to see him watching, and then he sneaks out the back door and didn't meet with the media or anything. So very, very big disappointment. And he hasn't won a major since 2014. So that was a big disappointment for sure.
In your estimation, has Bryson DeChambeau flipped the switch and has turned fans in his favor now?
Oh my God. Did you see what happened yesterday afterwards? I mean,
sure.
He stayed until late at night, they were using car headlights and flashlights for him to sign autographs. He was on Scott Van Pelt late night. He went out with the trophy. I don't know if you heard his post game, but he said, you guys deserve this. I hope all of you can touch this trophy. Sure. He literally went through the fans with the trophy and let them touch the trophy as he walked through them. He stopped and signed autographs. He continually saluted the fans throughout his tournament. He apologized for playing boring golf a couple of times to the fans. He just has done everything right for a guy that just a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, was, evil personified on the golf course. He's now flipped the switch completely, and he's a fan favorite.
Coach, I felt my opinion was when you thought Rory slipping out, number one, I thought she should have went and congratulated him. Number two, you're the face of the PGA. Basically, you're on the board. You were. Yeah. He needed to speak after there. He needed to talk to the press, even for 4 or 5 minutes, no matter how disappointed. I thought that was, and quite frankly, this is just my opinion, I think that was short-sighted of him not to speak to the media and congratulate DeChambeau.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Manuch. I think that you're absolutely right on with that assessment. And that's kind of the way we felt too. It's like, what are you doing sneaking out like that? And of course there's cameras everywhere. So they've got their, cameras on him pulling out. And it just was wrong. It was a bad move on his part. And it will haunt him for a long time.
All right, Coach, question number 4. It doesn't seem to leave us, that being the WNBA, the Angel Reese / Caitlin Clark drama is good for the WNBA because it is built-in rivalry that people will want to watch every time they play each other. Fact or phooey?
Phooey on that. I think people are getting tired of this pettiness. I think people are just fed up with this crap. It's been going on too long now. Just let her play. Just you guys just go play your game. I mean, yesterday, and Colin and I talked about it last night at 10 o'clock, and I got a few emails calling me a racist and different things about the whole thing. But my feeling is just stop it. Just stop the pettiness. Stop the whining and crying about you. And Angel just keeps crying about, she's gone to the free throw line the 6th most times in the WNBA this season. Mm-hmm. And she's crying yesterday about not getting the calls, right? And certain people in the league get a short whistle, get a quick whistle here. I don't know. It's like enough. Yeah. It's just enough. This goes back to the college days. Yes. LSU and Iowa, where they were just, competitors and going after each other. Now it's not just Angel Reese. It's a whole bunch of people across the universe, the sports universe, whether it's ESPN or Fox Sports or you name the outlet, CBS Sports, just condemning Caitlin Clark for the attention. And I don't know why people can't just sit back and enjoy the fact that more people are attending WNBA games this season. More people are watching WNBA games this season. And it's become certain games have become must watch, and every time Caitlin Clark goes somewhere, they sell out, right? And people are already anticipating the game here in Phoenix coming up. I think it's June 30th, if I remember correctly. So people are anticipating that. So, you can't get enough of Caitlin Clark, and people are excited about it. Yeah, it's a Sunday game on ESPN, Indiana Fever Mercury on June 30th. But people can't get enough of watching this stuff, and I just think they're getting tired of the petty crap coming back and forth from all these players and analysts.
And Coach, it's interesting is the more this happens to Caitlin Clark, the more she takes the high road. She says all the right things. Yes. And it makes those other individuals look worse than they are. And I think people are finally realizing this pettiness that you're talking about, Coach, is just really starting to add up to the point of you look like knuckleheads. She's taking a high road. She becomes the classy one, which she always has been. And that's the thing I like about her. She's just continued to take the high road.
We have all faced adversity in somewhere in our lives, right? Yep. There aren't many of us that grew up with a silver spoon in our mouth and had everything given to us and handed to us, I grew up in a divorced family. My dad was not around for a long time, lived in an apartment going through junior high and high school, and into college. We've all gone through adversity somewhere in life, whether it's a job, whether it's, we've all had something that we've had to face adverse wise, and people have been jealous of us for something or upset with you for getting that. Manuch, I'm sure people are looking at you going, he got into the NFL as a quarterback. What's going on with it? We've all faced those kinds of things. Jimmy B, you've been a play-by-play guy. People probably were jealous of that and said something about you
all the time.
Yeah, right. So we've all been through this. It's somewhere in life. And I think you have to take the high road and you have to say, I'm going to dismiss this because if I don't, then I'm playing as low as they are. And I think it's just time for people to stop and just move on.
1 minute.
You know, just it is what it is. Move on.
One more quick one. This is number 5. If you were around 30 years ago on this day, the OJ car chase happened. Where were you, Coach? Do you know exactly where you were?
I do. I was coaching football, and we had it on the TV screen in the coach's office. Yeah, so I remember that specifically because it's like, what is going on, right? And I think everybody knows it's kind of like the moon landing in '69, right? Everybody knows where.
Yes,
it's like, yeah, I remember that specifically because it was just so crazy. It was a low speed chase.
Yes.
Low speed.
Yeah.
Not a high speed chase. It was a low speed. And everybody's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why don't they throw out some stop sticks? What's going on? So yeah, absolutely.
Always good, pal, when you take time for us. Thank you, Coach. Have a great day.
Appreciate it.
There you
All
go.
right, see you guys.
Factor Fooey with Craig Fooey, ABC 15 Sports Director. Segment presented by our great partners at Twin Peaks, 5 Valley locations. It's your home for watching the NHL, NBA playoffs, also the top golf championships and Major League Baseball. Manuch, where are we going to be Thursday?
We'll be the Tempe Marketplace, the Tempe Twin Peaks.
All right, that's where we will be on Thursday. Coming up, Casey Walsh from the CAZ Sportsbook to join us, get his thoughts on the NBA game tonight and the NHL game tomorrow night. We are rolling from Casino, Arizona, the CAZ Sportsbook. Rock.
Invest
Clear, I need
in
a tease.
high-quality misting system.
Go ahead.
Pizza and Patio Wine Bar on the southeast corner of Cave Creek and the 101. Happy hour 7 days a week, 4 to 7, with $5.50 house wines and well drinks, $4.75 drafts, plus tons of food specials. Upper Crust Pizza and Patio Wine Bar.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important. You need to consider the law firm's experience, results, and reputation. Lerner Rowe stands above other law firms when it comes to experience and results, helping over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. When it comes to reputation, we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and year after year, we have been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Call us today and let us know our experience, proven results, and reputation to work for you.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Like the spring, need G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2Gbar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail. And the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by 2 words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Vans Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Get out of the heat and play at Duke's. Duke's on Miller and McDowell. A huge new game room is open with foosball, pool tables, shuffleboard, darts, and Pop-A-Shot basketball.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
With 3 10-foot TV screens and dozens more big screens, you'll find every game you're looking for.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where Dukes, Miller and McDowell. Shots it.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Time for the best bets, locks, and daily wager picks, courtesy of the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Now joining the guys is CAZ Sportsbook expert Casey Walsh. From Boston. Exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
Anything's possible! Bringing a little instant offense. You know him, you love him. Tom Brady, legendary quarterback, just had his number retired.
I can't go down there on the field anymore.
You can't play anymore? He's joining us here at Fox Sports. As I'm sure you have heard as an analyst this fall. Can't wait to see him. So far, what are your impressions this early going? Championship game, sometimes teams can be a little bit tight. It looks like it may be right here.
They're all a little different.
Yeah.
You get into these games, and there's a lot of defense out there right now. You see defense can go out there and play with a lot of energy, but someone's got to get the ball down the field and try to open this field up a little bit. It's a lot of horizontal passes, and the defenses are swarming and trying to punch the ball out. So make them defend every blade of grass. That's what we say.
Thank you to Fox for that as Tom Brady makes his debut on television. The reason we did that, because from Boston is Casey Walsh, who is the guy in charge here at the Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona. How are you, pal?
I'm doing great. How about you
guys? Are you happy that we played that for you? So your hero is about ready to make his debut on the NFL?
Yeah, of course. Can't wait. Had his jersey retirement. They're going to do the statue this year. Might fly back for that game. Check that out.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why not?
Why would now? Many bets on the UFL game, that being San Antonio and Birmingham yesterday at all?
No, not too many. Well, not too many. There were a few here and there, but nothing major.
You didn't light the lamp, is what you're saying. All right, let's get then to tonight's game, because 6.5, big spread. And we've been discussing, does Dallas carry over what they were able to accomplish the last game in Big D into tonight's game, or do the Celtics end it tonight?
I think it's going to be a better game than people tend to think it'll be. I do think the Celtics will win. I think if you can get the Mavericks at +7, I think that's the right side.
It's interesting because 210.5, the over-under, it's been averaging, 213 to 215-ish?
Yep.
So it's lower now. I mean, all of a sudden, game 5, they've come down off of it. I didn't see what it was on Friday night, but it seems like, why would it average, why would it drop, I guess?
So the reason why it's dropping pretty much is this game actually opened at 209.5. So it's actually been bet up a point.
Okay.
But if you go to the other games, just like you said, range from 213 to 215. Game 4 closed at 212. Reason for that is unders are 4-0.
All right.
In the NBA Finals.
Does Kristaps Porzingis update? Does that change anything or not? If he plays or not?
No, the line's fairly. It's where it was at for both game 1 and 2 at home. For the Celtics, 6.5, 7. So yeah, I don't expect any big money movement in that.
Where are the numbers coming in on right now? Are they coming in on Boston, or are they coming on Dallas right now?
People betting?
Yeah.
Dallas. We're getting a lot of Dallas money.
They were probably stupid like Manuch and I, who took the Mavericks in 6 games on this.
Well, it ain't over
show.
yet, Jimmy.
I know it's not over yet.
Well, I think you looked at this, the blowout. Let's call it that.
It was
the blowout from that particular standpoint. Then you looked at the blowout in the National Hockey League. I don't think a lot of us saw maybe the Oilers win, but not by 7 goals. I mean, where did that game end up before they dropped the puck the other night?
Was Edmonton -120 money line. Over under was 5.5.
Wow.
And just like you said, the 8 goals in that one game, they had scored 3 in the previous 3 games combined. But interesting thing about the Celtics Mavericks tonight, I think people are going to start to bet the Celtics that believe in certain things, because Celtics last championship was June 17th, 2008.
Oh boy.
Boston area code 617, 617.
Oh boy, here we go.
So you get people coming in betting stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's some of the props that are going on right now, if any? Major props one way or the other?
Points for Luka, Kyrie, Tatum,
Okay.
Brown, and people are starting now to hop on Jaylen Brown, MVP -225.
So he's the favorite right now, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Yep, he's -225. Tatum's +180, and Luka's at +1400 now.
If Luka has a monster game again, let's say he goes off for 38, 40 points, would he be in the running for MVP? Because it's only happened once where, and if they lost, that Jerry West was the guy who won the MVP on a losing team, the LA Lakers.
No way.
No way.
The only way is a Mavericks win the series.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say, but Jimmy, remember, Jerry West was scoring in the bunches for the Lakers.
Oh, he was.
He was averaging 35, whatever.
38.
Yeah, and the Knicks, were just, menial, but they were winning. But that would be very rare because we talked about this last week. The only other, I think of another losing football player was Chuck Howley when the Dolphins beat them. When he won, they won the Super Bowl, the Dallas Cowboys. He was one of the only non-quarterbacks on the defensive side to win was Chuck Howley. Now, as far as the guy winning it in a Super Bowl or Major League Baseball, I don't think that's ever happened on a losing side to get the MVP. It's yet to be seen.
Yeah, not that I know of.
Okay. So the hockey game is tomorrow night, and does everybody expect then Florida to rebound and close out Edmonton? Or, in your belief, do the Oilers have a chance to carry over what they accomplished in the last game?
I think Florida's the better team, more depth. They should take care of business at home. But the way people tend to bet, I think they're going to go with Edmonton again.
Okay.
Just because it's going to be plus money. And then they just love the stars. They love the McDavid, the Dreisaitl's, the Hymans. So I think that the public here will definitely go Edmonton in that.
All right. So tonight, just to recap quickly, you have the Boston Celtics closing out Dallas. Do you have them covering?
Get the number to 7, take the Mavericks.
Wow.
If it gets to 7, take Dallas.
Right now it's 6.5.
Boy, the hesitation could have
he
stopped
boy,
the
he had to
diesel
think
that
about
time.
it. Oh.
I do think they win. I just think the number's a little inflated. I think at 7, the only play there's Mavericks.
Okay. Thank you, Casey. Always good to see you
Good
back.
job,
Absolutely.
There you go. All right, a little football at 50, Manuch.
Well, the Bengals have placed the franchise tag, taken it. They placed back in February. Well, now he's officially going to accept the franchise tag. He's basically going to make $21.816 million fully guaranteed, Jimmy, for the 2024 season. That's a good thing.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, because he's going to look for that guaranteed money more than anything I think he wants. So they could still extend him out. And then for all of you Calais Campbell fans, he has signed a 1-year deal with the Miami Dolphins. Last year, he was with the Atlanta Falcons. He tallied 6.5 sacks, 56 tackles, and 17 quarterback hits. He's been playing 17 years.
Is that an insurance
17th
move?
year.
I know. Is that an insurance move by the Dolphins on
Yeah.
that defensive line?
I would say so. I think he can as a reserve, as a spot guy, rotation. I mean, he can still play. He can still start if he had to.
Okay.
And I think that's a great move by this Dolphins team, is looking to try to improve even more so to make that run in the AFC East, and just to make sure that they've got the depth, just to make sure that they can make that run late in the year. And I got to imagine that Steve Ross, the owner for the Dolphins, doesn't want to play an AFC Championship game in minus 20 degree below zero like he did in Kansas City. He'd like to have that home field advantage in Miami.
Sure.
And I think these are some of the moves you might see, some late summer moves for guys like Calais
Okay,
Campbell.
let's get to our random facts of the day.
Well, this random fact of the day is a thrill ride in Portland. It's called got a little bit too thrilling. It's called the Atmosphere.
Okay.
It's a pendulum ride that swings 360 degrees while the circle everyone sits in is also spinning.
Ooh.
Well, the whole thing got stuck upside down.
Uh-oh.
Now, here's the thing that happened, and this thing's been around since, I don't know, 100 years or something like that. It took the fire department close to 30 minutes to get all of the individuals down.
1 minute.
And here's the interesting fact. The fire department has drills that they've been doing at this ride for many years just in case this thing happens. Because this thing goes in a circle, flips around with all these people. They get stuck upside down. You're going, oh, my gosh, what are they going to do? Fire department comes out there with their ladders. They train for this.
Okay.
So they were only up there for 30 minutes, which is a godsend that they were able to go ahead and get this thing done. So the random fact of the day is
30.
The fire department there for the Atmosphere had practiced many times to go ahead and rescue people if they got caught upside down.
And they did. Great
20.
job then by that fire department to them. Coming up, everybody, hour number 3, 1996 U.S. Open golf champion Steve Jones.
10.
He's going to join us in just a couple of minutes. We're hanging out here at Casino, Arizona, Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for billiards, poker, and trivia. And now the Roc and Manuch Amber by Huss Brewing. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, daily specials, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Amber drafts. Arena Sports Grill.
You may not have any experience dealing with car wrecks, but Lerner and Rowe does. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner and Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, coupling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like Freeform Radio. Search Freeform Radio and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
A small commitment at least one day a week helps reduce ground-level ozone pollution and helps us all breathe easier. Reduce traffic congestion and ozone-causing emissions by teleworking. Visit maricopa.gov/AQ to learn how you can help.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
The only downside to Taco Bell's Cravings value menu is having to decide. It's got 10 different favorites for $3 or less. How do I choose between the super beefy cheesy double beef burrito, the crunchy loaded beef nachos, the pillowy 3-cheese chicken flatbread, or the... I don't have time to list them all. I'll have to go to Taco Bell and try them. The Taco Bell Cravings value menu. 10 items, $3 or less. At participating U.S. stores, plus supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies. Tax extra. Double seasoned beef compared to the Burrito Supreme.
At Charmin, we're so excited for Pride Month, we just had to sing about it.
Here and it's our duty to come together and shake our collective booty. Charmin loves men's bodies and everybody wants to. We'll help you stay clean when you need it the most.
Charmin is proud to partner with iHeartRadio for Can't Cancel Pride for the 5th year in a row. And while Pride is only a month long, our support rolls on forever. Enjoy the go and enjoy Pride with Charmin.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Rappy Law Group studio. This is KTME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Major League Baseball released its first All-Star voting ballots today, and the Diamondbacks' Ketel Marte trails only the Padres' Luis Ariz as the NL's leading vote-getter at second base. Good news, as an MRI, and outfielder Corbin Carroll showed no significant damage to his left side. After leaving yesterday's game early, he could be in the lineup for tomorrow's game with the Nationals. The Mercury beat the Storm yesterday. They're back to 500 at 7-7. They'll host the Liberty tomorrow, and a week and a half remain until the Desert Ridge land auction. Reports say at least 3 parties registered to bid against Coyotes owner Alex Morello. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly good to go. Skies, temperatures right around 79. And then for your Tuesday, slightly cooler, right around 102 with mostly sunny skies. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Citizens Clean Elections Commission. Debates may be your best chance to get to know the candidates. Don't miss Arizona's only official nonpartisan debates. Learn how at azcleanelections.gov/debates. And let's get democracy done.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
He's good.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910. Good contact.
Below the hole goes DeChambeau, and he's
You're hot.
Up. Unbelievable shot by the U.S. Open champion, DeChambeau, yesterday. Thank you to U.S. Open for the highlight there. We welcome in a guy who knows about winning golf. It is indeed Steve Jones, 1996 U.S. Open winner. Steve, welcome, pal, as always. So our question of the day today is, and I want to get your opinion on this, being a guy who has been there and done that. It is our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. Did Rory McIlroy lose the U.S. Open, or did Bryson DeChambeau win it? You have three choices. 1, Rory lost it. 2, Bryson won it. Or 3, a combination of both. What do you got, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be a combination, just because Rory bogeyed 3 holes, so if he hadn't done that, he would have won. Bryson bogeyed a hole, so it looked like nobody wanted to win it for a while there. And then on the last hole, obviously, it looked like it could be a playoff. That was what Rory was looking for, I think. So that's usually what happens when in sports, as you know, somebody does something good and someone does something bad, and that's why you get the winners. And sometimes not a loser. Roy's not a loser. He just lost that tournament.
And we sent a lot of our people to Roc and Manuch on Twitter. So far right now, Rory lost it at 46%. Bryson won it at 20.8%. And then combination both only at 33.3%. So I voted, you bogeyed 3 of the last 5 holes and you got the lead. I voted that Rory lost it. Unfortunate.
Definitely.
I think he definitely lost it. You bogeyed 3 out of the last 5, and you got it right there in your clasp. From that standpoint, that bunker shot you just heard, Steve, talk about from 55 yards away in that sand with those greens. How magical was that for him to hit that shot, number one, and stick it somewhat 4 or 5 feet from the pin?
Yeah, that was kind of a good situation with that, the way the greens were rolling, plus that mound where you could kind of hit it up, kind of chunk and run it off the top of that mound and let it run down there. And I was thinking he might hit a 9-iron, but I think he might have hit a wedge. He doesn't have a lot of loft on some of his stuff anyway, but yeah, definitely. I mean, Rory lost it with the 3 bogeys, but DeChambeau, if he bogeys the last hole, which it looked like he was going to, he was going to lose it. It was going to be a playoff, so who's going to play the best in the playoff? But Bryson won it at the end with the par. So it was exciting. I can't say I didn't like the fact that guys were bogeying at the end, because I bogeyed the 17th hole to make it tied, and then Love and Lehman both bogeyed 18, and I won by 1. So there's always seems to be some bogeys down at the end in a major, especially when it's the greens are so tough.
I thought that Brandon Chambly's comment before Rory hit that chip on 18 said, look, you need to leave this behind the hole, because if you get taken above the hole, that's pretty slick coming downhill. I mean, he nailed it as far as that comment. And then the ball is above the hole, and you just kind of go, oh, okay, that's in the back of your mind. And lo and behold, he tries to tap it in, and it goes right. Talk about maybe that was a mental gaffe by not leaving it below the hole as well, too, maybe for Rory.
Yeah, I mean, he's juiced up a little bit. He's got to get it there. You don't want to leave it 8 feet short. And it was just it wasn't. He hit it maybe 6 inches or a foot too far. That would have made a big difference to have it a little closer, even though he missed one about not even 2 feet, I think, earlier. Sometimes that putter he has, when it's a heel shafted putter, when you get it forward in your stance, it's easy to let that club face, the toe, close over. And I think that's what happened. I was watching it, and then he played it back on the next hole. He made a nice 4-footer for par, played it back just a little more. Could have been the TV angle. I don't know, but I've used those type of putters before, and it's real easy to flip the toe over and miss it left, especially if you're a little bit under the juice. But he made 3 long putts, so it's like, well, he's putting good, but he just didn't close it, unfortunately for him. But Bryson was bombing it, got good lies in the rough, and things happen good when you win.
Steve Jones is our guest. We're talking golf right now, the U.S. Open on the Right Toyota guest line. Okay, so Bryson DeChambeau went from bad boy to not choir boy, but fun boy, as everybody now has attached themselves to him. He's the only guy, I think, on the tour, and correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, that plays with all of his clubs the same length and does the same exact move on every club. Is that just him? Nobody else on the planet could do that? Help me out there.
Well, I think he sells those clubs, so there's probably other people, but yeah, he's the one that kind of started that thing with the lofts were so low and everything. I mean, you got what is it, a 30-degree 7-iron or whatever, you can hit it 220.
Yeah, 220.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
The numbers don't even matter to him. It's just, I hit this club this far and everything, and very unique. And he's made it work for him. At the same time, I feel like it's kind of like Rory was playing against Greg Norman, Liv, all those players that are making all that money, where Rory still has to work hard to make a lot of his money. And, he's representing the tour. It's kind of that feeling to me. And he's really taken a lot of, his wife, and they got back together, which was good, but he had a lot on the plate. I mean, to play like he did, and it was a shame that he had to miss a couple right there at the end, because he definitely could have won, but there was a lot going on there. And I think Bryson was so much more relaxed, and, he was just going for it, and kind of that live way they do, 54 holes. He wears shorts. He talked to the crowd. I think it really came out with Bryson. It worked out for him this time. Roy could have won it, but you look at it and go, hey, it worked out for Bryson this time.
Okay, so how did he resurrect his career in your estimation as far as being a fan favorite? Because a couple of years ago, he was just despised.
Yeah, it was different. He's different, and sometimes, and in society, we look at certain people as being different. We don't, in golf, if you say hi to someone, they're like, oh, he said hi to me. Hey, he smiled at me. Hey, he threw a ball. Hey, he did this, instead of just going on your merry way and keeping to yourself. And some guys have to play like that. And other people have, for me, I had to talk, more of a Trevino-like situation,
Yeah.
I had to be like that, where I had to be, it loosened me up. If I hit it over the green and had an impossible shot, I would have to say, well, it's only money. It's no big deal.
3.
People would laugh, and that would maybe help me hit a better shot. Scheffler, Schauffele, different situation. Rory's he smiles a little more, but, some guys just really get in tune, like Hogan, and Nicholas was really concentrating all the time. So just, you got to find out which way works best for you. I remember going through a time when I was an amateur. I'm going to be mad at every shot I don't hit right today. I'm going to be cool and calm at every shot. I don't care what happens. I was trying to find my emotional balance on the golf course, and that's what you got to find. If you get a little bit mad, okay, but you got to drop it and you move to the next shot, right? You can't let that affect you. Tiger was great at that. He might get mad. Boy, he was on to the next shot.
And I think the other thing too, Steve, when you think about it, this is his second U.S. Open, so he had something to draw off of.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sort of going, okay, so what did you draw off of to come down and go ahead and win that 1996 U.S. Open? Did you have anything to draw from? And that's crazy.
Well, I was thinking about the Yuma Open in Yuma, Colorado. I won back in 1976. That's what I was thinking.
All the way back to Yuma, not Arizona, but Colorado. Hey, last question what will you take away as a former Open champion from this 124th U.S. Open?
I thought it was brilliant. The golf course was one of those where, you know, you got an upside down salad plate they were talking about, and the greens are really about half the size, and they get firm. It's even a third of the size. And I mean, it helped to hit the fairways, but have shorter clubs in. So the guys that bombed it helped them again. Should there be tighter fairways as it gets farther? They did have some 30 and 40, 50-yard wide fairways, but overall, I mean, it was a tough test. It looked brutal sometimes. A lot of people didn't like it, but overall, you knew where you had to hit it, and if you didn't do it, you paid for it. It was a great success.
Steve, appreciate you taking time, short notice. Always love having you on the show to get your insights on golf. Thank you, Steve. Have a great day, pal.
You bet.
There you go.
The good work, guys.
Thank you, buddy. Steve Jones, there you go. 1996 U.S. Open winner on Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy, and what took place yesterday at Pinehurst, number 2, the U.S. Open Golf Championship. He was presented by the Sportsbook right here at the CAZ Sportsbook and also at Casino Arizona. 3 live betting windows. They have 6 self-service betting kiosks. They are open from 8 in the morning until 11 at night. You owe it to yourself. You want to come out tonight and watch the NBA game? You can watch and enjoy and make your wagers as well. Right here, the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino Arizona. When we come back, Suns radio analyst Tim Kempton as we dive into the NBA matchup tonight. Boston, Dallas, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Right now, a bad crash and emergency crews are blocking off northbound 17 near the Loop 303. Traffic at a standstill back to Happy Valley Road. A crash is blocking the intersection of 75th Avenue and Northern. You can avoid that by taking Olive Avenue.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
Is it time for an all-in-one wireless printer with tons of connectivity options? With Document Solutions of the Valley, you can buy, lease, or rent models that work off of your smartphone. Call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner & Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool's been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with Code Sports, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Hey, everybody, welcome back in. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM, HD3, and also on the iHeart Radio app. Manuch, there is NBA basketball tonight. It's in Boston. Look, I expect the Celtics to close out and win, but I don't want it to happen. I'd love to have Dallas pull the upset so we get another game.
You know, I think I got to give Roc some credit. He called that one, say, hey, look, Dallas is gonna win this game. I don't think we saw a 38-point blowout coming this way. I think that's one of the. But you saw this Mavericks team, you know, energized up and down the court, passing the ball. Luka throwing the ball down low, not taking the shot. I mean, that's something I hope to see. I'm like you, Jimmy. I took them in 6, that being the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, me too.
So I would hope that they could, you know, extend this, win tonight, and then move on to, I think it'd be Wednesday or Thursday would be the next game. As a matter of fact, let me do a double check. I think, let's see, it'd be Monday, then we got today. I think it would be a Thursday if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, from that particular standpoint, if they can win this, continue to move this on, and maybe force, maybe
a Game 7?
Game 7?
I love the NBA when it's playoff time. The games have just been unbelievably competitive, with the exception of the one that we just saw a couple of nights ago. Look, when you go back to Game 2 in Boston, the Mavericks were right there. They were down 3 with about 40 seconds left, and then they had a turnover, and then Boston went down and scored. They ended up winning that game by 5. You had a situation where at home in Dallas before the blowout game, the Mavericks were down over 20 in the fourth quarter, came back to within 3 with over 4 minutes left, and Luka Doncic fouled out with 4 minutes left in that game and only trailing by 3. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Dallas could win tonight.
Well, and I think that you saw the big two, Luka and Irving. They had Luka at 29, Kyrie 27, but the rest of them, you know, menial numbers, but the guys are coming off the bench. So when you're down 61-35 at halftime, and then you get outscored again, that being Boston coming out, and Dallas has kind of sets the tone and says, look, nobody's going to come back, and then you outscore Boston again in that fourth quarter. That's when it was pretty much, what do you call that? Free time, going up and down the court, garbage time, whatever you want to call it.
It's a garbage time. Look, Boston didn't even get off the bus. They were still on the bus, ready to head to the airport and go back to Beantown. I expect a knockdown, drag-out fight in this game tonight.
Yeah, when you're down 3 games to 1 like that, and you're looking for whatever you can make, I think those are some of the things you're going to look for.
All right, Tim Kempton is our guest right now. He joins us. You know him as the Suns radio analyst. He's been a great partner on the show for a long time. Jimmy, welcome as always. We are hoping for a knockdown, drag-out tonight between these two teams. Is that going to be the case, or could it be a Boston beatdown?
Well, I think it will be a Boston beatdown, but Dallas is going to do exactly what they tried to do, or what they did in the last game. They were very physical from the jump. They wanted to muck it up. Boston wants to, play free, dribble drive to the basket, draw defenders, kick out. But if you don't have those free drives, if you make them uncomfortable, it gets a little rough around the edges. And I think that's what Dallas is going for now. That's what worked in the last game. So now it's up to Boston to make fixes and see how it goes. So yeah, I think it's going to be an ugly game to start. At least that's the way Dallas wants to play it for sure.
What do you sense Jason Kidd as the coach of the Mavericks going to have to do? You're not going to score. You're not going to beat a team by 38 points in Boston. But I mean, what was the magic formula for this offense and then for their defense to force a couple of shot clock violations and not allowing them to get out on the perimeter?
Yeah, again, I think to start defensively, they were very, very physical and made it uncomfortable. So defensively, they got after them a little bit, took Boston out of what they want to do. And then offensively, you saw them early. They were really concentrating on getting buckets, and it didn't have to be a 3. So they just wanted to make sure they scored as often as they could. So with that, they took the ball to the basket. They got in the mid-range. They got a lot of comfortable shots early. So as you said, you expect it to be a little different once they get to Boston. and everything there. But they're going to come out. I mean, obviously, when you're down 3-1, you got nothing to lose. So just throw everything at it. And I think Jason will try, maybe some different lineups. Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that can get really hot really quick, and for some reason just hasn't been in the rotation for Jason Kidd. So maybe throw a guy like that in the lineup.
Tim Kempton is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. All right, Tim, here we go then. I'm going to throw this one at you. I thought Hardaway Jr. had to be in that lineup. He hadn't played. They inserted him in the game before, and he couldn't throw it in the ocean if he was in the boat. And then the last game, the blowout game, he scores 15 points and lights it up in the fourth quarter like it was going out of style. It was unbelievable. So, with your thought process, the way that you see this, and you said you might see some changes in the lineup, will we see Luka Doncic keep his head, or is he going to be the crybaby of all crybabies once again?
Yeah, well, again, that's a great question, and it comes down to the officiating crew. I haven't looked at it yet. Do you guys know who the crew is tonight?
It might be Scott Foster. I think Scott Foster's on the court.
Well, Scott was on the fourth one last game. So Scott was there.
Yeah, he was the crew chief in the last game, so I don't think the NBA would put him out there twice in a row. But yeah, it depends on how it goes. If you know how easy that switch clicks for him, so if it's frustrating, it's down. If he's not making shots real quick, because that's the way he is. That's his normal, kind of normal way. He has to fight himself to not be that way. And the easiest way for that is for the Boston Celtics to get out front and get a lead. So it depends on the officiating crew. It depends on how well Boston gets back to playing defense. They got really sloppy in that fourth game on their heads-up defense. So expect their defense to be a little bit better individually. And if that happens, you may see Luka get upset, yeah.
All right, then here's the most important question of this interview. Has your perception changed from being the whiner of LeBron James to now the biggest whiner of Luka Doncic? The perception from our guy, Tim Kempton.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to give either one of them the crown. They're both first-team All-NBA whiners, so let's just leave it at that.
Let's talk a little basketball.
Oh, come on, dude, I'm having fun here.
People whining all the time.
That's great.
I think the one thing I've watched when this Boston series more than anything is the adjustments and the counter adjustments. Now, in Jason Kidd's, I guess his favor with there was nice to see that. But can he sustain that with all the weapons that Boston has? More importantly, in reference to the Tatum and Brown show.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before the series got underway. Yeah, there's going to be a night where Boston isn't shooting the ball well, which was, obvious in the fourth game. Part of it was due to the physicality and the way Dallas plays defense, so you have to give them a little bit credit. But, yeah, I think going back to Boston now, Derek White and Al Horford, those guys get back to a comfort zone where they shoot it well on those kickouts. So I expect Boston to shoot it a little bit better, for them to play better defensively. And yeah, I think it goes Boston's way tonight because they played a lousy game. They got to watch the film. They'll make, individual adjustments. They'll make team adjustments as to what went wrong in Dallas. And yeah, I just think they have too much firepower. That's what we talked about before the series. And the first three games went very much like that. And I think Boston gets back to that in Game 5 on their home court.
All right, so the other follow-up question then, Kyrie Irving. We know he hasn't done well in Boston Garden at all. The crowd is going to be all over him. Do you expect him to have a much better game tonight than he has had so far in this series?
Yeah, I think he plays better. But I think it comes down to Boston doing what they do better than Dallas. I just think they have more firepower than Dallas. Kyrie, I think, will play well. He's kind of figured it out, got into a groove. And anytime you have a game like he did in Game 4, you gain a little confidence, you come out, especially, a superstar like Kyrie. I don't expect him to miss open shots, but I just think Boston has too much for them as a team.
So, and Tim, with that vein, you talked earlier about the guys, unexpected guy. You talked about Hardaway and some of the other guys. Do you think that Jason Kidd would run more people at this Celtics team and try to wear them down defensively since he found more confidence with guys coming off the bench? I mean, you had guys, shooting it, and you look at Lively did a good job coming off the bench. You think that strategy of running more and more guys at this Boston team would help them out?
I think it's more of the offensive side that he's looking for than the defensive side. I think, you talk about Tim Hardaway Jr. He got his confidence going in the fourth quarter against the bench, against Boston's bench. So maybe you put him out there, get him 3 or 4 shots, see if that confidence is carried over, because Tim Hardaway Jr. is one of those guys, he gets rolling. He can light it up in a hurry, but he needs that confidence. So you throw him out there a little bit earlier with that first group to see if he can play off Doncic and Kyrie and get some open looks and get some threes for him early and to see if he's a guy that can help him out scoring. I don't think Dallas, other than the physical play that they did in Game 4, has many one-on-one stoppers. So I think it's more of the team effort, being physical on the defensive side, but I think they need to find some more offense. And if a guy like Tim Hardaway Jr. can get rolling, that would definitely help Dallas.
It's always great, Tim, when you come on the show with us. Thank you, pal. Enjoy the game tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Should be a good one. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. That is Tim Kempton, everybody. He's presented by Foggo. You can beat the heat with patio misting systems from Foggo. Let Foggo design the perfect misting system for your patio, pool, or leisure areas. Stay cool all summer with Foggo patio misters. And you get a free quote at foggo.com, or just go old school and call them. 800-607-6478. That's 800-607-6478. Foggo, serving the Valley for over 35 years. It's foggo.com. Hey, coming up, former wide receiver in the NFL, Frank Sanders, is going to join us. He is next. We're broadcasting here at Casino, Arizona, Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
2 days remain until the Desert Ridge land auction. Reports say at least 3 parties registered to bid against Coyotes owner Alex Murillo. MLB released its first All-Star voting ballots today. The D-backs Ketel Marte trails only the Padres' Luis Arraez as the NL's leading vote getter at second base. Some good news today. An MRI at outfielder Corbin Carroll showed no significant damage to his left side. After leaving yesterday's game early, he could be in the lineup for tomorrow's contest with the Nationals. The Mercury beat the Storm by 9 yesterday. That returns them to 500. They'll host the New York Liberty tomorrow. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures right around 79. And then for your Tuesday, slightly cooler, right around 102 with mostly sunny skies. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
If you haven't tried G2G protein bars, today is the day. Find them in your local Costco's refrigerated section or online at G2GBar.com. Incredible taste and packed with protein. They are perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Check them out today.
A homeowner just like you.
Hey.
Decides to fix his roof.
Okay.
He backs up his truck, ties one end of the rope to the bumper and the other to himself.
Smart.
He's working on the backside of the roof until...
What? Wait, no.
Yes, Dad was in tow.
Ooh, was he hurt?
A few bruises and his pride.
Save yourself with State 48 Roofing.
offering maintenance, repairs, and replacements. Of course, licensed, insured, and bonded. From residential to commercial. State48roofing.com.
Hey, it's Jax, co-host of Take the Points, the only local sports gambling radio show in Arizona. Tune in every Saturday from 11 to 1, live right here from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Let's cash some tickets.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
Baby boomers and retirees, you can de-risk your retirement dollars with proven tax-saving solutions that have less risk and higher historical returns. National talk show host, wealth strategist, and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution can show you how to keep more of your hard-earned money from the upcoming tidal wave of higher taxes. Learn why it is never too early or never too late to get a head start to be retirement tax smart through proven solutions that can save you and your family thousands of unnecessary taxes. Visit retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com.
Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese is off to a hot start in her rookie season, leading the league in offensive rebounds. She's the first rookie of the 2024 class to eclipse 100 points and 100 rebounds this season, and became just the fourth rookie in league history to have a double-double in 5 or more straight games when she put up 10 points and 14 boards in a loss to the Mystics on Friday. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts. Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Elf Cosmetics and Elf Skin.
When it comes to women in sports, Elf Cosmetics and Elf Skin is all about leveling the playing field. The same goes for the boardroom, where Elf is one of only 4 publicly traded U.S. companies with a board that's 2/3 women and 1/3 diverse. Learn more at elfbeauty.com.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is scored, touchdown Auburn! Sanders got it! Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn!
Frank Sanders joins Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch, now on Fox Sports 910.
Welcome back. As we continue here, Casino, Arizona is where you can find us. We're hanging out at the CAZ Sportsbook, and we're here until 4 o'clock. Frank Sanders is our guest. We're going to talk some football, but before we do that, Frank, we got to talk some golf. You're a guy who's out on the course every day with a handicap of about 3, the way that you strike the ball. Your thoughts on what you saw yesterday at the U.S. Open?
Thank you, Jimmy B. How you guys doing, man? Happy Monday to you guys, man. Look, what a great ending to a great weekend of competition. Pinehurst stood the test. It challenged every golf player. Look at the number 1 golfer in the world, and Scotty Scheffler, and it took his lunch meat, it took his lunch pail, and just told him, I don't care what you did last week, you can. This Pinehurst, it stood the test to all the guys, man. But I tell you what, coming down the stretch, the Shambo, McIlroy, that just the energy in that moment was absolutely exciting. And look, at the end of the day, DeChambeau had to win it, and Bryson pulled out the win.
Our State 40 Roofing, it's your call question today. I want to get your thoughts on this or your vote. And Frank, you can go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Did Rory McIlroy lose the 124th U.S. Open, or did Bryson DeChambeau win it? Now, here are your responses. You can go Rory lost it, Bryson won it, or combination both. What is your thoughts? What would you vote?
Rory lost it.
Yeah,
Rory lost it. The birdie putt would have sealed the deal. It would have really given him a good chance to put some pressure on Bryson on the last couple of holes. But the birdie putt sealed the deal. I think that would have been something if he'd have made that. That'd have put him at 7. Bryson still would have been at 6 with a chance. But the opportunity, looking at the next couple of holes that he had, would have given him just enough confidence to hit a couple of shots that he didn't. That he probably on 17 he hit the par 3 he hit on the backside. Mm-hmm. I think Rory lost it and Bryson went out and took it.
Yeah, the folks out there voting, you still vote @Roc and Manuch. 45.8% say that Rory lost it. That's where I voted. Bryson won only 20.8%, or a combination of both, 33.3%. So 45.8%, especially if you bogey 3 out of the last 5 holes, Frank. That's not going to bode very well for you.
Oh, not at all. That's fumbling the ball inside the 4-yard line, man. That's deciding to pass the ball instead of handing the ball off to Marshawn Lynch. That's doing an onside kick, man. In your own backyard. It didn't go well for Rory. Look, at the end of the day, that's golf, and the guy at the end of you have to look at it that Bryson still had an amazing moment, which most guys wouldn't have stood the test. Driver down on the left hand side in a bad spot. He kicked it out into the sand trap. You still got to pull that shot off under that type of pressure, and then you still got to make the putt. That in itself shows, man, just the focus and the confidence that it takes, to get those wins. And Bryson said it best, man. He got lucky, and it just luck fell his way that day, and it worked well on his behalf.
It was great theater, and I knew that you would be dialed into that, being the golf stud that you are. All right, a little football for you right now, pal. What do you tell your team? Because guys have already started to get in trouble because they aren't at OTAs or mini camp, and they've got about 6 weeks until training camp. Is this the worst time of the year for NFL coaches and front office?
For example, see the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Look, honestly, it's not. I mean, I would say this here. It's always a tough time because you got to look at your leadership. And if you have great leadership, if you're talking about Kansas City, look at their leadership. Wow. I mean, they've gone through roster changes over the last couple of years, and they've lost some really good players, but still was able to stick together with the leadership that they have in place. And that's in Mahomes, Kelsey, as well as keeping the coach Andy Reid. You kept your big dog on the defensive line. So whatever else happening outside of that core of 4 or 5 men, you still got a bunch of stuff intact. So, but if you was looking at the Cardinals with the youth that we have, and our quarterback being Kyler, but not necessarily having the greatest season he wanted last year. He only played about 8 to 9 games. You got your coach going into his second season with the team. So I mean, those are things that you got a young team. Those are big problems. You have an older team with some veterans. Those aren't big. Those problems aren't as big as they would look in the offseason, because you still got 2 months before football really even starts.
Frank, you look at the Cardinals on paper, at least offensively, you go, wow, these guys could really be special. Running game, passing game, Kyler Murray going into his 6th year. But do you feel they got the depth just in case guys start to fall by the wayside? Because remember last year, they really struggled with the lack of depth. And I think Monty Ossenfort's done a better job. But offensively, do you feel they've got enough depth, A to Z, that they can handle any woes that come around midseason one way or the other as far as players are concerned?
My only concern is that our depth is young.
Yeah,
that's my only concern. Typically, good teams have, they have a good mixture of older veterans that can come in and guys you can count on. You can look at those guys and say they're probably going to give you, 6 to 12 games. Then you're not expecting them to give you 15, 17 games, regular season performances. But you want those guys when you put them in, to be productive and, to go out and make explosive plays. Our depth is young. I'm not saying that they can't go out and make plays, but they're young. They're young in experience. They're young in time, time and tenure in the locker room. And so when the fourth quarter started to show up and you got 2 minutes on the clock, one guy goes down and you need somebody to throw in there and go out and make plays. When you look at our offense is young, whether that be from the right tackle to the left tackle on to the quarterback on down to the receivers. That's my only concern, is that they're young. Now, this coaching staff gives me hope, Jimmy B, only because of the fact that I've seen him coach 4 quarters of football. Mm-hmm. They've done that from the preseason, from the first season that they got here of last year to the beginning of last
2 minutes
to the end, to the very last game of the season. They coach 4 quarters of football. That means these guys are coaches that coach, they teach, and they also allow these guys, they put these guys in a position to comprehend what they're asking of them. So with this team, I think the sky's the limit. But back to your question, Manuch, I really look at our depth, and I think our depth is just young. Can they go out and make plays? That is going to be that's going to be the $100 question. That when you're standing at the MGM betting line, you got to make a good decision.
Okay, Frank. Hey, before we let you go, yesterday Tom Brady made his appearance on Fox during the UFL championship game. Look, I listened to him a little bit. He's going to do just fine. Frank, in your long association with the National Football League, you're terrific on this show. You ever think about doing TV and doing color commentary on NFL games? Did that ever enter into the equation, or does that just take away from your golf game?
You know what? It's going to cause me to miss you guys on a Monday.
There you go.
TV with this pretty face, with this handsome face. I don't know if I want. I got the face for radio right now. I'm not sure if this is ready for TV.
That was the correct answer,
no.
Frank. That was the correct answer. I mean, these guys always ask me, Manuch, if they called you for this, and this. I said, and leave you guys? Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
No way.
As soon as Manuch, as soon as the contract gets to me, I'm out of here. As soon as the contract.
You're the best, pal.
Hey, by the way, happy belated Father's Day to you. What Frank said. You have a good Father's Day, doing a whole lot of nothing, or just did you golf away?
Brother, I had a great Father's Day. My daughters came over, Anaya, Elena, and Ava. All A1, A2, A3 showed up. They brought me some brownies, cookies, my man, and a wonderful cupcake, something I love. I'm a sweet tooth junkie, so I had a great Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you guys and all the guys that's always listening to the show. But my Father's Day was a really good time. Thanks for that, brother.
Excellent, Frank. Excellent, pal. All right, have a good week. We'll be talking to you.
I look forward to it, brother. Unless I'm on TV.
You might be. People hear you on this show. Thank you. That's Frank Sanders, everybody, on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. He's presented by the Sportsbook right here at the CAZ Sports Bar. It's located at Casino, Arizona. It's a sports fan's paradise. You can bet the game, watch the game, hang out at the CAZ Sports Bar. They always have great food and drink specials. And at the Sportsbook, 3 live betting windows and 6 self-service betting kiosks open from 8 in the morning until 11 at night. It is the CAZ Sportsbook and Sports Bar here at Casino, Arizona. All right, come back. We'll give you the latest on what's on television tonight, plus the results of today's State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day, and even a little football at 50. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
There's an accident blocking the intersection 75th Avenue at Northern. We also have an accident at 202 Santan Freeway eastbound near Williamsfield Road. And 101 Price Freeway northbound. This is the on-ramp from Ray Road. Left lane is blocked by a crash.
This report is sponsored by the Carnival Copa America USA 2024 Tour. Feel the greatness of the Carnival Copa America USA 2024 at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. 3 matches, June 28th, Colombia versus Costa Rica. June 30th, Mexico versus Ecuador. And on July 6th, the quarterfinals. Buy your tickets at CopaAmerica.com/tickets.
Beat the heat with a patio misting system from Fogco. Let Fogco design the perfect misting system for your patio, pool, or leisure areas. Stay cool all summer with Fogco patio misters. Get a free quote at fogco.com. That's FOGCO.com. Fogco, serving the for over 35 years.
Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on righttoyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at righttoyota.com.
Attention drivers. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, reminds you to follow the Move Over law. When you see emergency vehicles, move over and slow down. Keep our roads safe for all. Brought to you by All City Towing.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail. And the reward of a custom fitting taking your game to a whole new level. We're all bound by 2 words said by golfers worldwide. Schedule your fitting at Vans Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Hi, I'm Burt Ward, Robin from TV's Batman, inviting you to feed your dog natural, non-GMO, Gentle Giants dog and puppy food. Dogs eating Gentle Giants and following our special feeding and care program are living as long as 27 healthy, active years with a wonderful quality of life. Holy wow! 27 years! Think of all the extra years you could enjoy with your dog at Petco, Stater Brothers, H-E-B, and more. Try Gentle Giants cat and kitten food, too.
Free is key during Craftsman Days at Lowe's. Right now, get one free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of a V20 drill or impact driver kit for $69. Don't miss your chance to save on the high-quality, high-performance tools you need during Craftsman Days. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 6/19. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
It's the Learner and Row. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Learner and Row, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Good contacts.
You're hot.
Below the hole goes DeChambeau, and he's pumped up. That was the 55-yard bunker shot by Bryson DeChambeau. Got him to within 4 feet. He drills the putt to win the U.S. Open. Thank you to the U.S. Open for that audio highlight. It was absolutely sensational shot, Manuch. I just loved it.
It was incredible. I mean, Bryson DeChambeau, who could just absolutely crush it. I think there was 2 holes on that last round that he had the longest drive, like by 20 yards. The one drive he had like 341 yards and just a chip shot as a par 4, just a chip shot in. But I mean, for him to take a full swing out of that sand and put that bad boy on basically on a tabletop, and it stopped, and he left it below the hole, which was great. 4 feet, 4 or 5 feet, whatever it was one of the greatest shots I think I've seen in many, many years. Almost liking it to it. Remember Bubba Watson hit that big
through the woods around and on the green
in the Masters?
Yes.
I mean, you see some incredible shots.
I always go back to Tiger Woods' pitch shot as well.
On 16 at the Masters?
Yes, it hung on the lip of the cup and then fell in.
But there will always be memorable shots that you will think in a majors.
Yeah.
More so than any regular golf course, a regular tournament, I should say. And that was one of them. I mean, just the majestic way. Here's this former SMU grad on a course that, another SMU grad had in Payne Stewart.
Right.
About what was maybe 10 feet shorter on the same line as Payne Stewart.
Yeah.
And on Father's Day, I mean, just the stars aligned. It was just amazing. And that Bryson DeChambeau's dad knew Payne Stewart. Talked to him about getting Bryson DeChambeau into SMU to be a golfer. I mean, just the lines were just amazing as far as connecting all those dots. Couldn't happen to a finer young man who is basically, I think you mentioned, Jimmy, kind of turned the corner and has gotten the fans on his side
He
now.
has resurrected himself. He was one of the most disliked guys a few years ago, and now he's turned into like everybody's favorite dude.
I think he realized that what did he say about a week ago? The world does not revolve around him.
There you go.
I think he felt it's his world and you're just passing through versus, hey, look, I've got more than enough money for 25 lifetimes. I want to work on my game. I lost a lot of weight. I bulked up. I got more muscle. Lost a lot of the weight, leaned down, and he's playing great golf. And I think what these guys do, they embrace the fun of being out there.
He
Realize,
did.
And I think that's what it's all about: is lighten up, relax, have fun, enjoy the crowd. I mean, that young man was sitting there in that wheelchair.
Yeah,
for him to go over there and sign his hat and shake his hand and take the time. In the U.S. Open, coming down the stretch.
Then walking up to the next tee box, he's high-fiving everybody.
And then how about this? The ball he wins with, he throws it in the crowd.
I know.
I'm like, what? Can I have that back?
Yeah, couldn't you keep that? Apparently it didn't mean that
But,
much
I mean, the trophy is what
sure.
And then for him to win that trophy and to share the trophy. And then the guy's out there hitting golf balls an hour and a half after the tournament's over. And I think from that standpoint, he's just one of those guys that's making sure that all things are coming together and everybody shares in it. And the one thing in the post-game speech, to thank the greenskeepers.
Yes, he did.
I thought that was incredible. Thank you so much. The course, to the little people, if you will, to acknowledge all those people in his post-game speech.
That was our Lerner and Rowe one call. That's all. For more information, just go to lernerandrowe.com. And remember, just make one call. That's all. Little football at 50, Manuch.
T. Higgins has signed his tender for the franchise tag, $21.816 million, fully guaranteed for the 2024 season. They put that tag on T. Higgins back in February, so it looks like he is going to play, and he should sign off on that, and they could still extend him prior to the season. Miami Dolphins have signed ex-Cardinal Calais Campbell going into his 17th year. He'll be playing with the Dolphins. He was with the Atlanta Falcons last year, tallied 6.5 sacks, 56 tackles, and 17 quarterback hits. Good move by the Dolphins.
You think he's still serviceable?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I watched him play a couple times.
Yeah.
And I went, Calais has slowed down a hair. Still a very good run stopper.
Okay.
He can push the pile. He can push that offensive tackle, and he can harass those quarterbacks. So this is a great depth. I think you call it, Jimmy, a great insurance move for this, basically for this team to have to try to make that run and try to win number one, not only the AFC East again, but to try to hopefully win the AFC title and try to take that away from the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, let's get to what's on tap, and it's all presented by the Roc and Manuch Lager and Amber Beers. Amber, located at Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale. The Amber also at the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona, along with Upper Crust in Phoenix. And tonight, Game 5 of the NBA Finals. It's in Boston with the Celtics leading 3-1. Dallas and Boston, the Mavericks and Celtics. It is tonight. I just hope that Dallas wins just so we get another game. That's what I want.
Let's see. Hopefully, Dallas. I doubt it. Highly unlikely. You go 3-2. You go back to Dallas. You play. I believe it's Thursday. They play again. Elongate this bad boy and
let's have some fun
till the preseason before the football season starts. Right? Hey, our State 48 Roofing. Get your call question of the day. You can still go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Did Rory McIlroy lose the 124th U.S. Open, or did Bryson DeChambeau win it? Here's your choices. Rory lost it. Bryson won it, or combination of both. Again, go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Leader in the clubhouse.
Okay.
Pardon the pun there, Jimmy.
I know.
45.8% say Rory lost it.
Okay.
33.3% say combination of both. Only 20.8% say Bryson won it. Admittedly so by Bryson. He got lucky, took advantage of the opportunity. So about 46% said that Rory lost it. And I'm sure he'll be thinking about this one for a long time.
So we had a conversation off air. Let's do it on air quickly. We got about 2 minutes left. Rory McIlroy sent out a tweet on X basically stating congratulations to Bryson. I'm going to get away for a while and get my head right. That's kind of what I thought you
Falls
were
on
say.
deaf ears, Rory McIlroy. You
Yeah.
should have had some class to go congratulate him at the time, to speak to the press for 5 minutes. You are the face. You're on the board, for crying out loud.
He is, yes.
Of the PGA. Get your butt out in front of a camera. Just go to it, face the music one way or the other, and just 5-10 minutes. Guys, I blew it, and blah, blah, whatever you want to say. Rory.
Right, yeah.
But you know what? That tweet means nothing. It falls on deaf ears. I'm going to say it was classless of Rory McIlroy not to stick around and speak to the media, speak to the press.
Even go congratulate DeChambeau.
Well, he should have did all the above, Jimmy.
Okay.
If you're the guy, if you're the face of the PGA, and you got the live golfer, and it makes the PGA, I can bet you that Monahan, the commissioner, is not happy with this at all.
I bet you're right.
Here we are trying to merge
Yeah.
and this and that. You got the guy that was somewhat the culprit, Bryson DeChambeau, I don't know, a month ago. He's flipped the script. Rory, where are you? Okay, you lost another one. You choked another one off. You lost it. Face the music.
30.
So when it's good, you go talk. When it's bad, you don't. Not buying it. Falls on deaf ears. If you want my opinion.
No, I
Jimmy
think
B.
you just let it out there. Tomorrow,
20.
Kyle Vanden Bosch, along with former Coyotes assistant coach Steve Peters on the NHL game tomorrow night, and Cardinals beat writer Bob McManaman. Thank